Mother, man.
I'm a 500-year-old vampire. When I'm not crushing skulls, I'm listening to Murder, Metal, Mayhem.
Spreading faster than a case of the clap in a trailer court. Able to shatter eardrums within a 666-mile radius. A podcast more brutal than all the rest. It's Murder, Metal, Mayhem!
Well, hell yeah, man. We're throwing the fuck down here tonight. Tuesday. Joey's coughing, so we know what that means.
I know what's going on over there. Hell yeah.
Recording a new Murder Metal Mayhem at Horn's Eye Studios for the Horn's Eye Podcast Network on a Tuesday. Episode 203, and I don't know if you guys realize it, but that's CK's area code. So we're in the 203 tonight.
Ooh, I just had an idea.
Just
We're
so
in
you
the
know.
200s. We're 10 away from 213.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah,
What are we
nice.
doing for that one?
I don't know. I don't know. We've already done Dahmer.
Right? I'm just saying.
So I got Chris in the studio here, and his brother Michael is hanging out. He's not mic'd up, but he's
Ding
just
dong.
hanging with us to do
Mike's
some.
not mic'd.
Mike's not
He's
mic'd.
going to do some funny voice work for us here. We'll explain that as we go. And of course, we got Joey, and Stephanie over there in Ohio in the 419. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Excellent. You got
Heck
your
yeah.
Christmas sweaters on, Joey, with the shark Christmas sweater. That's definitely very you. That's for sure.
Yeah, rocking that. It was a little chillier today. Fucking me and Stephanie went to run some errands before we did the podcast, and she threw hers on. I was like, all right, I'll wear that tonight.
Right? I'll be
Nice.
fresh too.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, that looks good. So you guys, we already know what you're wearing. What about you, Chris? I know it's a little chilly in here. You got your
Yeah.
hoodie on. But
Well, my shirt I got on is the fucking Gorgy Appetite for Gore shirt. But then today I realized that I put on the fucking Cannibal Corpse Butchered at Birth hoodie that Cashman gave me.
oh shit!
And I also have on the Cannibal Corpse Butchered at Birth hat that I found in the mosh pit at FTA. So I kind of matched up today and didn't even realize it at first.
Nice,
Like, I
nice.
took my coat off, took my hoodie off. I was like, oh, fuck, dude.
And I got my my Murder Metal Mayhem hoodie on because I'm a little chilly out here, and I got my Blunt Force Press, my publishing company shirt. So I'm representing both tonight.
Fuck right.
And so we're here and we're ready to go, and this should be a good one tonight.
Stephanie's sweater is actually a deicide sweater.
No, wait, is it
Really?
really?
Oh wow, I didn't realize
No.
that. I just thought it was a
It's-
Christmas sweater.
Yeah, it's not. It's not, but it's an Evil Dead sweater, and it says "Dead by Dawn" real big.
Oh, Dead by Dawn. I got you.
Nice. Well, that's definitely fitting.
Still Evil Dead, badass. Fuck.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Now, last week, guys, we had a hell of a monster episode, 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Oof.
Holy shit. We did the case of that UK poison earl, Graham Young. Chris, little fucking devious motherfucker.
Hey,
man.
don't drink tea around
No.
this motherfucker
No.
at all, dude.
Should have nothing to do with making any beverage,
kind of yeah,
food, nothing.
don't.
Yeah, 1962 to 1971, he did some craziness and fucked up a lot of people, killed 3 at least.
I'm sure he killed more. It's just not documented.
Right, and permanently fucked up many, many more. But this is some heinous shit, and so if you're not familiar with
Including
him,
his dad.
yeah, and his sister, you'll want to check that out. And I did the metal segment on Immortal Possession, the Canadian death metal band, and played a clip of the interview I did with them. We had a really good Killer Cage match. We all had some mayhem stories about hotels, which
Fucking
was,
right.
which was
Which
fun.
Michael told me too. He's like, you did do that story, but it was way back in the very beginning. So.
I've thought a
Yeah.
few of the really funny ones might be okay to do again. I mean,
Right.
why not? I mean, not everybody's heard them all. And even if they have maybe a little retelling of it,
Yeah,
so
it's still
like,
fucking
I
good.
could bust out Black and Curly one night. You know, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Pierre Poutine weighed in on the old punky Creole fucking fight, which is going to be wild. The usual insanity you'd expect from us, and we're passing 900 to that one today.
Hell,
and so
fuck
thanks those of you that gave it a listen. And if not, go check out episode 202. And we also, the next day, released a bonus episode with the full interview, almost an hour, with Immortal Possession.
Dude, I've been listening to them a little bit, dude. A little more.
Oh, I figured you
dope,
would
dude.
really fucking like
God damn.
them. Them and Votov basically is the same band with a little different,
Twist on the
slant,
music,
but
yeah.
the same guys. And that we were passing 500 to that episode, the bonus. So thanks to everybody that gave that a listen. They get their new album out, so we're trying to help them out.
Fucking right.
Tonight we're really doing a crazy one. The old Kentucky Vampire Clan. They have been on the list for quite a while, and Stephanie's the one that suggested this. So we're going to talk to you about that tonight, Steph, and kind of like what made you, suggest that. And it was like right when we first met you. So I'm glad we're finally able to do this, and that you're able to do this with us. So
Hell yeah.
it's going to be cool.
That's before me and Stephanie ever even knew each other.
Yep.
That's right. That's right. So, yeah, this is going back a ways, so I'm anxious to do it. But we're going to be talking about the leader of this fucking cult, clan, whatever you want to call it, Rod Ferrell.
Weird-ass teenagers. I was
weird.
there once.
A group of followers from Kentucky taking them to Florida in 1996 to beat a couple to death with crowbars. Very brutal. Chunks of skull flying. Bloody. Nasty. It's going to be crazy. Rod told his followers he was a 500-year-old vampire. And the story gets stranger from there. I mean, they're drinking each other's blood. I mean, it's pretty wild.
I mean, it's going to be a good time.
It is. It's going to be
Comedic.
fun. It's going to be, we're going to poke fun at it, I'm sure. It's going to be a wild one. We'll do that in the murder segment. And so looking forward to that. Chris, you got the horns tonight, and you
Yeah.
decided to do which band?
I'm going to do the Locust. I don't know why. I was started listening to them again a while back. I was like, let's do these guys.
I'm not familiar with
Nobody's
them at
gonna
all.
like this band, dude.
Yeah, I really had no idea. It's funny, you talk about people not liking a band. I was reading a top releases because I'm starting to do my homework on
Right.
the releases from 2022, and somebody had ranked really high that Imperial Triumphant.
I love
And
Vampire.
I know you do, but I was like, that's some fucking crazy shit. And so I just thought it was funny that they were on the list, because I thought, wow, that's really out there. So, but we'll do that in the metal segment, and then I got a Lost Classic for us, so we'll do that. And
Fuck yeah.
we got a killer cage match to get to
Yes, we
tonight.
do.
And we got our listeners provide random numbers on our Facebook group. And that's how we decide who's fighting and what they're fighting with. So, Chris, who we want to say thank you to?
Tonight's numbers come from Sam Riley, Trina Murphy, and Joseph Finelli.
Oh, yeah. I went to school with a Joe Finelli, but I don't know if that's the same guy. But
Whatever.
yeah.
Well, no, we thank you guys for fucking throwing in these numbers for us. Let us
Yeah.
know what to do.
And we got an interesting one going on tonight, Joey. I mean, we've got a couple of people we see somewhat regularly in the cage, but what's the matchup
Yeah.
tonight?
Robert Badella, he'll torture young fellas, but he's gonna have his his shit cut out for him, because he's going up against Lawrence Pliers Bittaker.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah, we
shit.
all got a pair of pliers here in the studio, so
Got
this
my
should be good
pliers.
tonight.
I do have pliers here. I don't got the goat horns
All right.
yet, but I do have pliers.
All right, well, that's good that you got a pair of pliers. Never know when you might need them. So that should be good tonight, and of course, they're going to have some objects to fight with, which always makes it fun, and a variable.
Is Michael going to be part of this variable again?
I don't remember. I don't think tonight Michael's one of the variables, but it's always fun getting him involved. I'm sure he listens to this and's like, really? You fucking fools? You know,
He literally does. He'll
he's
walk up to me
nodding
at
his
work and
head.
be like-
you guys are jackasses.
Yeah, he'll walk up to me at work and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Wasn't there one where I had all the variables were Michael? Yeah.
think
It was like a
something.
special episode. Yeah. So,
You know we love you, bro.
of course. Big thanks to everyone who listens to the podcast. Keep spreading that word, and we'll keep
Fuck yeah.
tearing it up every week. We're at 2,700, so up about 6 from last week. 600. So thank you very much.
So
And,
much. If we didn't have you guys listening, we'd probably just be like, fuck it, this ain't worth my time.
Right. And you could check out our website, the brand new website, murdermetalmayhem.com. You can listen from there. You can order some merch. You can check out some bios and all that on us and read a little bit more about why we do it. We got a CK page on there.
Yep.
And I'm going to be adding some more stuff to that. I got vacation coming up here. I'm going to try to get caught up on some things like that. And I checked to see how close we are, guys, to the 666,000 listens. And we are at 627-ish. I think we're over that now. 1,000 listens. So thank you, everybody. But we're getting close.
The closer we get to the 666, the better.
We're getting close. I think we should be there around April based on the way we, numbers of listens a week.
Once we hit 666, that's the number. Everything's like, boom, now we take off.
There you go. Yeah, we get like 300 Patreons in one day. But yeah, the 666 total listens will be fun. And we're going to be there close to our 5-year anniversary.
So that's cool shit.
In April. So that would be cool.
Everything's coming together well.
That's right. It's like the perfect storm, right? But talk about some amazing shit. Australia, give it up. We've got 4 cities in Australia: Canberra, the capital, Melbourne, Sydney, and Perth. All 4 in the top 10 cities listening. So that is
we
fucking
love you,
amazing.
Australia. You're the best.
And Australia has surged ahead of the UK and Canada because normally, U.S. is always number 1 because of that's where we are.
Yeah.
But the Australia is at 10% of our listens, and then the UK and Canada are tied at about 5%. So
North America needs to step up their game.
So yeah, the U.S. At 70%, but yeah, the 10% coming from Australia is impressive. So thanks to everybody, but you Australians are fucking awesome. And we got a lot on our plate tonight, guys. Going to be taking a trip down south to the bluegrass state of Kentucky and hopefully avoid getting attacked by a cult of crazy-ass fucking vampires. So
yeah, let's fucking go get our weird fucking teenage angst brutal murder on.
90s ho.
We only see what they want us to. We only read what they want us to read. We only hear what they want us to. They want to make us bleed. Bow down to the clouds. When the circus comes to town. Bow down to the clouds. Watch your puppets dance and drown. Who's wearing a crown? Pulling strings, we all fall down. Bow down to the clouds.
hell yeah, some Onslaught. Bow Down to the Clowns. Love that one from the last album. And those guys are definitely due for another one, so I'm anxious to hear more from them.
For a minute. Hell yeah.
It's been over a year, so definitely anxious. And Stephanie's still hanging in there with us. She's got her lovely Christmas sweater on. Her and Joey, just so nice, matching with Christmas themed sweaters.
You know, Jim Jones back there, like, praise Jesus.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't put a Santa hat on Jim Jones.
Yeah, that would have been great.
That would have been funny. Well, speaking of that, we need to get the Santa hat out
next week.
Fucking right. Hell
yeah, we need to get the Santa hat on a CCK back there. We got to get it out of the cabinet. All right, very good. Well, we are in the murder segment, and that's why a lot of people come here, because they want to hear us talk about murder. And we got one for them tonight. We're going to be talking about the Kentucky Vampire Clan and old Rod Ferrell, their fearless leader.
That word clan, I think, is racist.
Yeah, right.
Talking about clans in Kentucky is very dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous. We're going to get canceled. So this guy, though, told his followers he's a 500-year-old vampire. He led a group to Florida to kill the parents of one of his followers, his ex-girlfriend, in 1996, and definitely a brutal one. Then they hit the road to go to Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge.
So Rod could hit his favorite arcade. Isn't that interesting?
That's fucked up.
Yeah, and it's a fucking ridiculous story. And Steph, you are the one to bring this, so we're going to blame this on you tonight. But how did you wind up hearing about this crazy shit?
So, I think like in 2006 there was this store media play, kind of like FYE, that was going out of business.
Right.
And my mom and I were there, and we just picked up some DVDs, and one of them was The Vampire Clan, and we watched it, and we were just like, what the fuck is this? And it became a cult classic in our family, so...
Oh, so your mom is into it too. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's right. I think I did see your comment that she's looking forward to hearing us talk about this one tonight. So that's great. And Chris, you're not running a vampire clan out of the nation or anything, are you?
Look, I am not allowed to talk about. You ever heard Fight Club rules?
Oh, that's right. You can't talk about it.
But there might be a secret society hidden between the two parts of the nation.
Oh, shit.
There is a thing going down. Don't ask Michael about it, because
I didn't know if you were becoming a cult leader. That's what I...
No, me and Michael are becoming cult joint leaders.
Okay. All right. So
But they're not vampires.
Joey, how many true crime fans you think are going to know about this one? I mean, how much did you know about it before we brought this up?
I knew this story pretty well. I think people into true crime, they know this one, and even some people that were just like, grew up in the 90s like I did. I don't think you couldn't have heard about this in the West Memphis 3 being in that time period, you know?
Definitely. Still kind of satanic panic shit.
Yeah. I just think it's cool to do it now because it was such a popular thing, and then the movie came out not too long after the whole fucking situation happened. But now we can talk about it whenever there's been all kinds of like interviews since then, and a lot more hindsight into the case itself. So
right,
yeah, I
sure.
think being a bit removed from it, you can look through it with a different lens than maybe you did right when it happened. Yeah. But yeah, I'm interested to see how many people know much about this, and like you said, I think it also depends on age. Like if you were hitting this when you were a teenager, early 20s, maybe it would have hit you harder because you would have been in that age group. So
I was
Rod
this would have made me. I would have been
hitting this.
Yeah.
I would have been 18.
Rod's mom sounded like a life of the party there.
Oh yeah, for real. All that acid. Yeah, I'd have been 18, and I was too busy doing drugs. So obviously,
you could have very easily wound up in the vampire club.
I was in them dark ages too. Shit.
So I didn't know about these guys before Stephanie told me about it. So the book that she gave me when she came out here for that first time was called The Embrace by Aphrodite Jones, and I checked out a documentary about this and was like, holy shit, definitely a good one for us to do, a wild tale, definitely plenty of murder.
The one documentary
mayhem.
of them fucking kids actually like telling the story and being like,
right.
You watch it, I was like, damn. That was the 90s, like for real. Like that was the 90s.
Exactly. So this one begins in Murray, Kentucky, which is a town of about 18,000 people. And I did a little research. Southwest corner of Kentucky. Not a lot going on there. This is not only the Bible Belt. They refer to Murray as the buckle of the Bible Belt.
No, it's not just part of the strap. That locks it all in.
There is one church for every 300 people in this town. So
that's
this
a lot
is
of motherfucking churches.
a very religious place. Alcohol is illegal.
I feel like Fairbury has more than that.
It's very
Fairbury's
possible.
got a lot of fucking churches.
It's very possible. Alcohol is illegal, and it's the headquarters of the Boy Scouts. So this, Chris, sounds like your absolute hell. I mean, no alcohol.
Well,
all the churches.
You can have alcohol in your home, right? They just don't sell it. It's just like
I don't know.
Dry town.
It may very well be. I thought I read that it was illegal, but that may be the
sales of alcohol.
But still, though, I'm thinking just going to crimp your style a little bit.
Oh, I've been in places where the whole county was that way. It's like, God damn it. Really?
I'm sure that they're getting so much fucking moonshine down in that area, though.
Oh, you know it.
Oh,
They're
for sure.
They're
Give a
in,
fuck.
they're in
Right.
Kentucky. Daddy's got brew going in the fucking garage anyway. I'm good.
Exactly. So now they're on the map, though, thanks to old Rod Ferrell and his Kentucky Vampire Clan. So they're pissed off about that.
And that's
Rod
the
is-
last place you think the vampire capital would
Exactly. That's what's so wild about it. Rod is born in 1980 in Murray, and he claimed he was a 500-year-old vampire named Visago. Very cool name, but he gets that name from a character that he played in a role-playing game. So this just is so ridiculous. Now, Steph, he was obsessed with a particular game. What was the name of that game?
It was a Vampire Masquerade.
Okay. Is this one you played? Because
I've
you're
never
kind
heard of it.
I
No.
never heard of it until no.
No.
I never heard of it either.
I think this was like a D&D like role playing game, but for vampires.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And,
what Michael's nodding over there. He's a
his
geek.
Michael's over here
Shit.
fucking.
Hold on. Does Michael play that?
Have you ever played it?
No, no,
Not that one?
No, but he knows what he's familiar with
okay.
it though.
I was going to say, we just want to watch and make sure you're not going to go out killing people, bro.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But yeah, I just not familiar with it at all. But I bet his mom, the fact that she got it for him, maybe she might regret that decision. Steph, what do you think?
I think she regrets nothing. She's
Yeah, I was just gonna say she's probably got all
just
kinds
as
of
weird
shit.
As Rod Ferrell, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So
She was definitely into it. She thought she was a vampire too.
okay, all right. Yeah, I knew she was really into it. I didn't know she thought she was a vampire, though. That's funny. That's great. Now, Chris, this reminds me last week. We did the Graham Young episode. Dad gets him a chemistry set. Probably, not the best choice, but I mean, what do you think?
I think this is the opposite because, I don't think he would have got into the vampires and darkness and shit like that if his mom didn't already have it pre-set into his mind from the time he was born. I mean, his mom was 16 when he was fucking born and shit.
Right.
So,
It's like a Lifetime movie,
Yeah.
16 and pregnant.
shit. I don't know about that.
And I don't know how. I don't know in reference to whenever he started the vampire shit came into it, but interviews later on he talked about how everything about himself back then, his music, his movie selection, all that shit was all really dark, disturbing shit at all times.
Right, all the
So
time.
the vampire shit either just fell right in line with it or started that. I'm not sure which way it went.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, if it was just an honest, hey, this is a cool game, but if she's all into it like that, certainly setting himself up to just, be, he's going to emulate his mom. He doesn't have a dad in his life.
Right.
His dad's completely out of the picture.
I mean, if you're gonna molest your fucking son's friends, why the hell wouldn't you be a vampire too?
That's true.
You got
That's
to,
true.
dude.
Why not, right? Yeah, add it to the resume, banging 14-year-olds, and I'm a vampire.
I am the queen vampire.
The documentary about this story, though, has some of these interviews we were just joking around about. These guys are teenagers, and they're talking about, this after the 96 incident. So,
And but it was only 2 or 3 years later.
yeah, it wasn't that long after it, but, they got the black eyeliner, the black nail polish, the lipstick. They're so serious, though, which was making me laugh because I'm like, dude, you're in Kentucky, but you're talking like you're in Austria or Switzerland or so. I don't know what the fuck they were talking. So fucking serious. And one dude had a weird accent. And I was like,
And they're related.
well, yeah, a lot of them were related. It's a Kentucky thing, and I know we got some Kentucky listeners, so please understand. I lived in Kentucky. I was at Fort Knox. I was in basic, so I wasn't amidst the locals, but I was there Okay, and I know that, people from the South, we got some listeners kind of get that, but we're just having some fun, of course. But, this is, just kind of funny, but, we think about what we were doing at that age, Chris, like you were saying, you were partying.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the guy that had the upside down cross mustache at 19, so I got no room to fucking talk.
See, exactly.
At all. I
We're
was
just
putting
doing the same
stupid
shit.
yeah.
But we were not in the buckle of the Bible Belt
Right.
either.
And I wasn't drinking anybody's blood, and nobody was
Ow,
drinking mine. So
ow.
that was not happening.
we were doing dumb shit.
But
I think that's why I like this case so much, is because you can imagine yourself in that situation.
No, the same.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I knew people like this, and like
Okay.
they just took it to a next level. Like, what if I was in that situation?
sure, just
You know
a
what I
little
mean?
wrong place, wrong time type
Right.
thing, right?
Yep.
Like,
yep.
this
You
dude
know, one
dragged me
crazy
into that shit.
weekend, and next thing you know, you're cutting up your shoulder and letting your buddy drink blood from your shoulder. So
Yummy.
yeah, it's just so fucking disgusting. We were watching that. I'm like, God, I had to Google what kind of diseases can you get from drinking blood. I mean, I knew it was obvious, but still I had to see it. And of course, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and HIV. I mean, but
those
this
are
was
obvious.
like part of the thing of crossing over, they referred to
If
it.
you ask Richard Chase, you get more than that.
That's true. That's true. But this is what made them vampires, drinking each other's blood and the whole drawing the energy from the other person.
Right.
And they talk about this in a very, sexual
And they-
kind of way. And of course, that's part of
Which is
what
weird
they do too.
because
there a
two
lot of them
were
are related.
brothers,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, so they're having
they're-
sex with all the different people, and it's like your brother and your cousin are there. Like, I don't know. This is just
right.
really
And they're
weird.
talking about how like fucking like blood tastes different upon your mood.
Yeah,
or
that guy
whatever
was
like
fucking
that.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that was the leader. Fucking
Yeah,
I
the
can't
leader
remember
was
his
talking
name.
about how your blood tastes different. And I'm just sitting there listening. I'm like, he's so used to talking to 15-year-olds
Right?
that believe some stupid shit like that. Like,
You're actually making
I'm
a
listening to this, and I'm like, okay, I'm not a doctor. I play one on a podcast, but I'm not really a doctor. But that just doesn't fucking make any goddamn sense. These kids are like nodding and like fuck yeah, dude.
He's like,
It's
cutting
it
yourself
just
is the
cracked
same
me
as
up.
smoking cigarettes.
It just cracked me up. It's so ridiculous. But, it's what makes this whole story fun. Now, Joey, what was the deal at that animal shelter? Because that kind of shook some people up in this little town of Murray, Kentucky.
Yeah, the animal shelter got fucking broke into, vandalized, and
Right.
there was a whole bunch of the fucking, the older dogs and shit. A bunch of them were released and let out.
Which
But
I thought was
but a
crazy.
bunch
They're
of the
just hanging
puppies-
out.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
they didn't
Yeah,
run
they-
away.
A bunch of the puppies, they found them fucking mutilated, like fucking really bad, fucked up. They fucked them fucking little doggies up for sure.
Yeah, there was the animal mutilation is bad, and there's pictures on that documentary. So
Yeah.
and it's fucking brutal as fuck.
Yeah. Joey, just so you know, Michael's drinking like a handle of McCormick's over here. So
Oh,
It's a fifth, and
It's
he's
a
rocking the party cannon shirt too.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, these dogs
Don't
are
let him turn into a vampire.
Ah,
Yeah.
shit.
the dogs are the big dogs were let loose. The puppies were fucking massacred, throat slit, like really fucked up.
Dude, they
shit.
said that like some of them looked like they had just been stomped into the ground. They were like embedded into the dirt and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
really
holy
bad.
fuck, man.
Really bad. So the cops suspected that Rod was in on this because, gee, go figure, right? So they knew, but they had no proof. So definitely freaked some people out. And then Steph, Rod's best
And
friend.
this dude, I was just gonna say in this case, fucking with the animals, like if he did it, because I mean, I don't know, I'd imagine he did it, but no one
Right.
like knows for an exact fact. But if it was him, like he was definitely fucking letting out some fucking anger and rage. Which later on, when he commits the homicides, he did the exact same thing.
Right.
True.
He had a lot of shit built up in him, and he was talking about, well, him and his mom were talking about whenever he was a kid and he was growing up, like he was really big into cutting himself. And he said that his mom walked in one time and he had basically cut himself from his fucking groin to his fucking neck.
All
up and down himself.
Yeah. Liked watching the blood seep out of his body and shit.
Then he'd say too, like fucking, like one of his girlfriends or whatever, like he had like these BB guns and she didn't like it or whatever, and she asked why he had it, and he's like, what, do you see a bunch of cats hanging around or some shit like that? Like he out there just popping them off. Like, what the fuck, man?
Doing some crazy shit, but yeah, it's just weird with the whole
That's
blood
Gomo.
thing.
Yeah, that's Gomo for real.
Now, Steph, his best friend at the time was this kid named Jaden. He was also part of the clan, but then he saw Rod do some sick shit to a cat. What was the deal with this?
And that was before the fucking animal shelter.
It was.
Yeah, so I guess he saw Rod slam a cat into a tree and killed it.
Right.
And so he was like, "Fuck that! I'm done with you."
Right.
I just imagine, like, you know, they're having their, you know, dark brooding teenage angst.
Right.
You know, and they think that they're vampires, and you know, they're all in this clan, and then Jaden sees him, you know, actually do something, you know, kill an animal, and he's like, "Fuck this, I'm out." So then there's this huge vampire clan rival. So.
Yeah, and the vampire, you know, code of ethics, I don't know what you call it, but they're not supposed to harm.
No killing cats.
They're not supposed to kill it. You know, they
fuck with
feed
cats.
off it and then create one of their own, I guess, but they're not supposed to kill anybody. So, you know, yeah, and they're fucking with cats like old Luca Magnotta over there.
Exactly.
Doing some crazy shit, so... So yeah, I mean, this is definitely, you know, setting a tone. He's losing friends that are not into this crazy violence against animals and stuff. His home life is terrible though, and like Joey said, he's got a lot of rage. His parents split up when he was born, so he never knew his dad. His mom is, you know, as Chris said, 16. She's a mess. She's getting in some really bad relationships. But one of those relationships would take them to Eustis, Florida, which is where Rod met Heather Wendorf, and she is, just like him, a rebellious teen.
They fell in love.
They did, man. She was in the goth, you know, lifestyle, and so they kind of hit it off with common interests. And eventually, though, that relationship with his mom and whoever that was split, and they go back to Murray, Kentucky, and so then they're apart. And I did see that his mom would sometimes prostitute herself to help pay the bills. She's into heavy drugs. Rod's starting to get into some harder drugs.
Dude,
getting
no, I
into
was
trouble.
seeing that though. Like, this is an alcohol-free community. I guess it doesn't matter where you're at, hard drugs, but he's talking about PCP and shit in fucking Murray, Kentucky. Like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Dude, you can't get a fucking bottle of Budweiser, but you can get fucking
Angel
PCP,
dust.
meth, heroin, fucking all this all day long, son. But you can't fucking get a little booze? Come on.
And I'm kind of wondering if he would have been hanging at the Nation, Joey, or possibly over there in the 419. I mean, if he's doing all this shit.
Hey, over here in the 419, they take all types. So.
Right.
Right?
Definitely.
Everyone's welcome. So even old Rod Ferrell. So
Just don't OD or I'm kicking you to the curb.
Yeah.
now, Chris, here's another one of these stories, man, with the fucked up home situation. I mean, and him getting into the vampire lifestyle, just kind of like we've been saying earlier, the perfect storm.
Yeah, his mom's the one that introduced him to the fucking Vampire the Masquerade and shit.
Right.
So, like, she was already about that. And, like, she was super young when she had him. So she's still, like, literally just a kid.
A teenager
raising
herself,
a fucking kid.
Right.
So, like, there's that. And then, like, his grandpa and his grandpa's friends and his mom were in this black mass cult or whatever you want to, which he claims,
right?
And he witnessed like human sacrifice when he was like 5 years old, and like
that's what he was saying.
Yeah, he went like to Satan or whatever, but and then he said his in that black mass group, whatever, that his fucking Grandpa and all their friends like gang raped him or whatever.
I did hear something about the grandfather, but I didn't know his friends did too.
I heard one thing about the
Okay.
gang thing. Everything else was just the grandfather.
Still though,
but
that's
still,
fucked.
yeah. But you're living with your fucking grandfather at the same time.
Right.
That's gonna fuck your whole life up too, if that's true. But why would he lie about it? Because like he admitted to everything he ever did in his life.
True.
I really don't think he had a reason to lie about just that. Like, oh, this is because he never tried to get out of anything.
Right.
So I don't feel like he would just say that to use it as a way to get out of what he did.
Right. Right. No, I'd have to agree with you.
I feel like when they talk with him in the interviews later on and shit, I definitely feel like a lot of what he says is just matter of fact, and he's
Yeah.
the story, the real story. I don't think he ever tried to embellish it,
Right.
Or, tried to take less responsibility
Yeah.
for his actions. I think he was pretty
Just like,
straightforward.
yeah,
about
this
it.
is
No,
what
I agree
happened.
with both you guys. I think that, he was pretty much what you see is what you get kind of a thing with him. But, Joey, he kept in touch with Heather after he left Florida, but she's telling him about some shit going on at her house, man. What was the deal with that?
Now this is the mid '90s, so that they're just sitting there on fucking their cordless phones in the fucking hallways talking to each other all night long, talking about vampire shit.
Right.
But she's telling him that her home life is fucking terrible. Her parents are terrible. She quote said that she was basically living in hell.
Right.
She said that her dad was molesting her, and basically her mom was letting it go on.
Right. Right.
And this will all come into the controversy of how things play out later on in the story. But
Right.
if you listen to Rod tell it, and the way he tells it is, I do kind of believe that she was making it seem like it was so bad, and he became the white knight to come save her.
Right.
Which is a stupid thing to do, but you're a fucking young kid, so
Exactly.
your emotions are a lot different.
Exactly. And she
But,
had that
I-
sister too, and the sister was like perfect, and she was good grades, and she had her own car. So I'm sure that was part of it too, is the sister's kind of like the favorite, and she's kind of like the black sheep of the family type of thing. All right. So he's the white knight in shining armor, but that's a fucking haul. He gets in the car with him, Scott, Charity, and Dana, and they hop in Scott's car and go to Florida, 777 fucking miles, 11 and a half hour car ride. What the fuck, man? But Steph,
Man, what's that like going down to Mississippi, Chris?
I mean, it was,
Like a 13-hour car drive.
man, the drive there was cool. The drive back was just like, oh, fuck.
the drive back is always the worst, that's for sure. Especially on a long car ride like that. When I came up here from Texas, I've been there, done that too, and it's a brutal. I don't like being in a car that long. Now, Steph, the girls, though, were not in the house when the murders happened, but I did see some differing accounts. And what do you think about how much Heather was kind of in on it, or she claimed, like she had nothing to do with it? But what do you think about it?
Yeah, I think she hinted to Rod enough that she did want something to happen to her parents because she wanted to run away with them.
Right.
And she probably hinted enough to allude to the fact, hey, kill my parents so I can stay with you guys. But I don't know. She claims that she was with the girls and she had no idea what was going on.
Right.
But at the same time, they needed a new vehicle, and she told Rod where her parents kept the keys so he could steal the car.
Right, and she left the garage open too.
I think she had him. Yeah, I think she had involvement in it, but in the end, she didn't want to go to jail, so she said she didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, because she really lucked
I
out
believe
in
his
this
horse
situation, honestly. I mean,
I feel like
If
she
she
knew
was in on
exactly
it.
what was going to happen.
You think
dude.
so?
Like, for real.
Yeah, I think, I think that's definitely very plausible. I think, like we've seen before in some of these cases, the other person's like, oh, I had nothing to do with it.
It's like, no, but you instigated this shit for real. You knew what was going
And
to
she
happen.
left that garage. The big thing with me is she left that garage open. Now, she could claim it was just to steal the car, but if she was hinting at killing her parents and she knew this dude was out of his fucking gourd, how do you not think that maybe he's going to take that seriously and actually do it,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I feel.
When you don't want to go to prison, you'll say you had nothing to do with it. You know what I mean?
Of
Exactly.
course.
Everybody does.
Oh, yeah,
Even
for
if you
sure.
100% did it, you're going to say, I had nothing to do with it.
Right, exactly.
Like, that's real shit.
Exactly. So they wind up, it's November 25th, 1996, a couple of days before Thanksgiving. Jennifer's parents, Naomi, but she went by Ruth, and her husband, Richard Wendorf, were at their home in Eustis, Florida. And Richard's asleep on the couch, just like I am most nights. And the TV's up, though, pretty loud. And the boys arrive, old Rod and Scott. They show up at the house.
I noticed how you left out clan member.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I didn't even see that until you just said that. To add to the fun of the moment, though, they dropped some acid
Fuck
right
yeah.
before they went inside. I mean, Chris, what the fuck? I mean, of all times to be dropping acid when you're going to go kill somebody? Or?
They fucking I mean,
don't
driving
know,
12
man.
hours you drop some acid, fucking.
Yeah, you just drove 12 fucking hours.
No, they did it before they left. They're driving on that shit.
No, I know they did hits before they went inside,
10
too.
strip. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Could you even imagine fucking 12 hours dripping on acid? No wonder you wanted to kill somebody. Everybody on the road's driving like idiots compared to you.
I don't know, man. It just seems like I've never did acid. I don't have any fucking
Yeah.
desire to do it.
But
that just sounds bad to me. And what really is stupid, though, they show up with no murder weapon, so they had to go through the garage to find something.
that's premeditated.
I guess, but I mean, what if all they had was a fucking weed whacker in there? I mean, what the fuck?
What the fuck was that movie where the weed whacker? They fucking, dude, those motherfuckers hurt. You put that to somebody's
I mean,
face
it
or
would
something.
hurt, but it's
you
not
got
gonna-
range with it too,
It's not
dude.
caving skulls in, though. That's what
it's
they
not.
were going for.
Yeah, they fucking grabbed that crowbar though, and that's what they used. He also
Yeah.
looked at like a chainsaw, fucking
An axe.
an axe. Like
Yeah.
it's been done before.
Yeah, I mean, the
You
crowbar.
said it's been done before. That is
Yeah, it's been done before.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Real
Yeah,
quick.
let's go for the
Real quick.
crowbar. Yes.
Off topic. So this lady was brought into the ER last
no.
night. She was found on an overpass. She said she got hit by a car. They found her with a big bag of knives, and she
What?
said she was drugged by the gypsies. So she's hitchhiking
Oh,
with
wow.
this huge bag of knives.
Drugged by the gypsies.
Oh,
Yeah.
for fuck's
Fuck
sake.
yeah, dude.
Did you have to X-ray the knives?
I had no, but I had to
Okay,
X-ray.
well,
No, she
It was
she had to
interesting.
X-ray
She had to
her,
X-ray
and the
her.
big bag of knives was found in her vagina.
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, that sounds like fun. All right.
Damn.
So they picked the crowbar, which I mean, honestly, that would make sense. Because the axe is kind of, you got to have some room to swing it and
Man, an
close
axe and a
quarters.
crowbar ain't much difference in length.
But I think with a crowbar, you can get up close and personal easier than you could with an axe. Anyway, that's what they chose.
You're not very. You're amateur.
Now, Joey, what happens here? Rod attacks the sleeping dad with the crowbar and does some heinous fucking shit.
Yeah, and from all accounts, Rod is the only person that does anything. He's the only one that does
Right.
any kind of violent act.
Right.
And that's coming from him too. He admits that. But
Right.
all the anyway, so him and his buddy Scott are in there. fucking Scott sees what happens, though. He sees the whole thing, even though he didn't take
Right.
He could have tried to stop him.
violence.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have. Well, did you see that Scott dude? I don't think he was stopping anything.
Yeah, he's a pretty small guy.
I guess that
He
makes
was-
sense. Yeah.
He was pretty weak, and he was fucking tripping his brains out. So I don't think he
Right.
was fucking doing much. Anyway, but so Rod sees the dad on the couch. He's fucking sleeping there. So he takes the crowbar and fucking just starts waylaying him. And the way Scott fucking says it, he said it looked like he was swinging for the fences. And that's what we were talking about earlier. They found pieces of his skull in the other room.
Right.
And
That's some fucking big ass swings, dude.
yeah, it's brutal. And then, so fucking, he said initially he wasn't going to kill her mom. That wasn't the plan, but her
Right.
mom fucking gets out of the shower, fucking comes out, sees what's going on, and from what Rod says, she took a fucking thing of coffee and fucking threw it on him. So he
Right.
fucking snapped and fucking just beat her to death with the crowbar in the kitchen, and also fucking knocked pieces of her all over the place. And when he was done, I guess he was just standing there, and fucking Scott's just staring at him, wide-eyed, trippy-eyed,
Right.
and everything. And he was like, "Bro, you are covered head to toe in blood." And fucking,
Oh, I'm sure
Wow.
it wasn't just blood either.
Now, see, one account
Right.
one account that I read, Joey, and I don't know if I read it or saw it, but that Scott was supposed to take care of the mom. But I did see what you had mentioned was that they weren't going to mess with the mom. So I saw two differing accounts of what happened with
I'm
that.
not sure.
But right, and in one case, Scott was supposed to take care of the mom. He had a baseball bat. But
I
that
didn't
was
see
in the
that.
Vampire Clan movie, and I know that's not factually accurate, but there was somewhere else, I didn't see about the bat, but that he was supposed to take care of the mom, but then when he saw what happened with the dad, it freaked him the fuck out, and he wasn't having any fucking part of it.
Right.
And then Rod took care of the mom, as we were just saying. So yeah, I mean, it was brutal, but as you pointed out correctly, Rod was the number one. That's, Scott was literally just standing there.
He owns, like I said, interviews and everything. He owns up to it. Like, it was me. I
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah. So Rod's all fired the fuck up. Scott's freaking the fuck out. They're both tripping. The bodies then would be discovered by the sister, Jennifer, after she gets home from being out with her boyfriend. And I can't even imagine coming home to seeing that. I mean, holy shit. I mean, these people weren't just dead. I mean, the father had like no face. I mean, really bad.
Like, fucking, one of his things is like, I think it was the mom's face looked like a rubber mask, basically, the way he was just there. Like,
Yeah, it's terrible,
Holy
man.
the 911 call from the sisters, fucking crazy.
oh, I didn't even know that was in existence.
Oh, I didn't listen to that. What was that about, Joey?
It was just her calling the police to let them know that her parents were dead, but she's so fucking distraught, and she's almost she's almost emotionless because she's in shock, obviously. But they said something, the dispatcher said something about, are they breathing? And she was just like, they're my parents. I can't get that close because they're
Right.
so fucked up and shit. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
God damn.
I think I
yeah,
saw
I
the-
didn't.
I was
I'll have to
watching,
check that out.
I think they played that on the episode of that chapter that they did the Rod Ferrell thing on.
Okay.
Podcast on. That's my favorite true crime podcast is that chapter. But he played that during that, and I thought that was pretty interesting. I hadn't seen that
Interesting.
anywhere else either. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
I'll
need
have
to check that out.
Yeah, I would like to hear that as well. So yeah, I mean, it's just an absolute brutal situation here. But it's sometimes, I saw, Stephanie, that, Scott, unfortunately, is like, we've been saying, kind of wrong place, wrong time. The fact he's in the house, I mean, unfortunately, he's going to get dragged into this thing, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, I think, I mean, obviously Rod was the ringleader, but, like, you can see his whole vampire clan or group or whatever were just a bunch of, like, lost, nerdy, depressed kids. And they're
Right.
just talking shit to fit in with Rod because, he's offering them somewhere they belong. and then
Right.
Scott's
They're not
supposed to
murderers.
kill the mom, maybe. Yeah. And then when it comes down to it and he sees actual violence going on, he's like, I can't do
Right.
this. This isn't what I signed up for.
I feel like
Right.
Rod Ferrell and Ricky Casso, they could have hung out.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I
Dude.
literally thought about that myself, and I'm like checking this. I was like,
That would be like
Man.
around
That
a
could be the acid
campfire.
clan.
man,
Hanging out at a campfire with Ricky Casso and
I
Rod
literally
Ferrell.
thought about that.
That would be pretty wild. So yeah,
I'll
so
draw a
that's-
picture of that for the new activity book.
Oh, that'd be great, Joey.
And
That'd be
Michael
great.
just said tag team match.
That would be great.
Yeah.
And it's always hard to tell with stories like this because you hear from one person and differing opinion from the other. But I think we all agree that Rod Ferrell seemed like a pretty honest. Did not seem to retract statements. Just owned up to it. Like, hey, I did it. Nobody else had anything to do with it, which is the truth. We see
think-
sometimes. Go ahead, Steph.
I think, well, that's what you see in his one and only interview as an adult, that he takes
Right.
ownership. But for years and years, he held on to that story. He was delusional for most of his adolescence. And that one interview when he was an adult that they did, then he finally dropped the act. So, I mean, he was playing a role for a really long time. But yeah,
You mean
he takes
like the
ownership now as an
Visago?
adult. Yes,
he was saying
yes,
he was
yes.
okay.
He didn't want to let
All
it
right.
go. He didn't.
Okay.
No, yeah, because after he got to prison, like you're saying, like he'd still like, I'm a vampire. Fucking, this
Yes.
is me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I got what you're saying. I was
As somebody
mainly
that was
looking at
locked
the
up in
crime,
prison-
the crime part of it. Yeah, go ahead, Joey.
Yeah. Me, as somebody that was locked up in prison, I don't know how a dude could be in a place like that and act like a vampire and not get beat the fuck down all the time.
Right?
Oh, dude,
For real.
Yeah, and
bro,
it's not
for
like he
real.
was some big jacked up dude either. You know
He's
what I
like,
mean?
I'm
Right,
going to
right.
suck your blood.
The youngest guy on
Could you
death
imagine-
row.
No, you're
and
going to
Could you
suck
imagine-
my dick, boy.
Right, exactly. Could you imagine when you was locked up, some dude like that walks up and be like, hey, you want to be part of my coven?
I'm a 500-year-old vampire. Just call me Visago. He's got like this
shit.
little twist in his cape or whatever.
Uh,
So yeah, that he'd be probably fun on the cell block there for sure. But we see some of these guys like Pee Wee Gaskins, or Henry Lee Lucas, talking all kinds of shit, exaggerating like crazy, while other times some of these guys run away from it and obviously
And
to
hide.
avoid getting their prison sentence and all that, so, or the death penalty in some cases.
he just like, I did it.
Yeah, he did not run away from it. Now, Chris, I was surprised to see, because I was curious, the top U.S. states in executions. Now, on a per capita basis, I saw Oklahoma led the list, which surprised me.
How many people do they kill a year? 'Cause
Well,
there's not a lot of people in Oklahoma.
There's not, and that's why on a per capita, basis,
yeah, that's
they're
what
the
I'm
highest.
saying.
Then Texas, Delaware, Missouri. Florida's 15. However, when you look at just total executions, Texas with 570,
They
dude.
balling, dude.
The
just gotta-
reigning kings of capital murder. Old Tex down there. Florida has 99. They were number 3 behind Virginia with just over 100. So that's a pretty big difference between 100 and 570
570. Yeah,
with
that's fucking-
Texas. Holy
that's
shit.
insane. Go get him, Tex.
That's right.
God damn, bro.
But Florida,
Fuck.
Florida's number 3. So I mean, I was surprised though. Did a little research there to see, but it's
Jesus Christ.
they're doing this shit in the wrong fucking place, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because Florida doesn't fuck around either. Now Rod and Scott
I
find
mean,
the
at least I
keys.
guess if they did it in Texas, it'd be quick.
That's true. It would happen a little bit faster.
Right.
They find the keys to the SUV. They take off. Rod is fucking yelling. He's fucking screaming. He's all fired the fuck up. And I'm sure Scott is freaking the fuck out with this shit. Because he's like, Joey said or Steph said, completely covered in fucking blood. after an absolute bludgeoning that just happened.
Oh, you know he was licking that blood as it was happening.
Yeah, I mean,
every piece had gotten into his mouth.
Poor
He's just
Scott
like,
must have been just
"Yes."
freaking the fuck out, getting the shit all over the car.
How many,
you know?
how many things did time he nutted in his pants drinking blood doing that?
I don't know. They meet up with the girls. They ditch Scott's car, and they head out in the stolen SUV. So this is not a good plan here. So they got a stolen car. He's covered in blood. They got the fucking crowbar in the car with them.
That's a good idea right there.
And they hit the road for Baton Rouge, which is ironically... Go ahead, Joey.
Before we go to Baton Rouge, I just wanted to bring up something else that was pretty funny. Is they were talking about Rod Ferrell whenever he killed the parents. Now, they had eaten all that acid, so they're fucked up on that, plus, whatever other drugs he was doing. But they were also saying how he was also still very much on the high from the blood of Heather, because they had done her fucking... her whatever that is, her
crossover shit,
crossover, in the graveyard. So he had been drinking her blood before the fucking murders ever happened.
Oh, that's right.
So he said while he was in there, he was so fucking high from drinking the blood and the drugs. Which I've never drank blood and gotten a buzz off it, but I have heard that some people claim that's a true thing.
Listen, there are lots of adults that think that they're vampires and they do this.
Right.
I'm aware.
I've met
fucking
plenty
aware.
of them.
I bet there's some people listening, like, getting really mad that we're making fun
fun of this shit.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah. Sorry, you guys are weird.
It just sounds fucking insane to me. I mean, I read Dracula, but I don't think I'm a fucking Visago. You know what I'm saying?
God damn.
I don't know.
I watched Blade once. Jesus.
Pisago?
I'm a daywalker, I guess.
So I'm going to make you guys call me Visago now. No,
that's not going to happen.
So they hit the fucking road.
Zago's probably a cooler name than Pazuzu. I don't know. Pazuzu's pretty cool.
But I
still need to do the Pazuzu story.
Googled the distance between Eustis, Florida, and Baton Rouge, and it is 600.
That's not real.
And 66. Google that shit. I couldn't fucking believe it.
That's not real.
That could have been the 666 Express right there.
It could have been.
That's what Jenny said. Oh, you should have used that for the 666 Express.
You looking that up,
Maybe
Michael?
if I do too. Yeah. Well, it depends where in Eustis, because I use their address, and I don't remember what the address is. But Google it; it'll be really close to that. I guarantee it.
Goddamn.
Eustis, Florida to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and you tell me what it says. All right, so that is definitely metal as hell.
No, that's fucking dope as shit.
And along the way, Rod changes clothes and ditches the bloody one. So at least gets rid of the bloody one.
No, he didn't. Never mind. I was going to say he got rid of the fucking crowbar.
He does, but not yet.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, never mind.
Now, Joey, I heard they were pulled over 4 times on their way to Louisiana, but this guy is like Ricky from the Trailer Park Boys. Able to talk his way out of shit, but not too smart, man.
No, but he was talking about it, and he was like, man, we get pulled over 4 or 5 times on our little journey. But the problem is that they knew the people, or there were people that were looking for them. There was a manhunt. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
668.9.
Yeah, it's really close, but I used the address and it was like 666 point something. Yeah,
that's fucking great.
Go ahead, Joe.
Sorry, Joe, my bad.
Sorry, but Rod's talking about that whenever the cops pulled him over, they're aware of the situation that there's these kids on the run, but they're looking for this fucking crazy ass fucking cult leader, fucking vampire freak boy. And Rod is just totally fucking cool with them. He's charismatic. He just talks to them all normal and talks his way out of every one of them situations, and they let him go. And every time that they got pulled over, I believe he had that crowbar in the car the whole fucking time.
Right, yeah, he did.
They got rid of it, but that's fucking crazy, though.
It is crazy. I mean, I don't know, just like you said, he just was able to talk his way out of it, man.
But didn't he
You
have
know
like
what
the
I
fucking?
never-
Didn't he also just like have the fucking plates off of his car on the fucking?
That's what they show in the
Explorer and
Vampire
shit?
Clan, but I didn't read or see that anywhere
Okay,
else.
all
I
right.
don't know if you guys saw
I heard that somewhere, but I didn't know if that was true or
They
whatever.
show it in the movie. He switches the plates, which is like they're gonna run the plate and realize it's not the same
Yeah,
car.
I never saw
Like,
the movie.
I
so.
don't understand that, but I don't know that they did it.
One thing I never fucking I never saw in this story or ever heard in this story, what was their fucking end game in going to New Orleans? Like, did they think they were gonna hook up with the vampire Lestat and fucking
They did
really
talk
find the real
about-
ones?
In something I watched, he did talk about the vampires in New Orleans, but I remembered from a couple different places that it was the arcade he wanted to go to
No.
in Baton Rouge.
Also, I saw something that they were thought they were gonna meet Anne Rice or some shit too.
That I don't know.
I
Surprise.
believe it.
But that's what I'm saying. You done killed these people. You're on the run. Like,
Right.
what is your
You
plan
got no
now?
money. You got no
You're not
money.
going to Mexico.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys aren't going to Mexico. You're going to fucking Louisiana.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
so
fucking
stupid.
goddamn cesspool of the United States. Because every tributary of water goes there.
Right.
You're getting all the shit water.
Yeah.
You know what's it's fucked up, but it kind of in a somewhat similar way reminds me of like when I lived in Bloomington and that fucking kid, that 21-year-old kid, went and killed those 3 people down the street from me on some gang
Right.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And he paralyzed a 3-year-old kid too. At
Yeah,
the
what,
same time.
terrible.
Anyway,
God.
I remember that.
but he takes off, and they catch him up in Milwaukee because what he did is he did his dirt down in Illinois, and then he's in a gang, so he goes to where the bigger headquarters of the gang is to try to
Right.
fucking hide out, and thinking that you're going to get away with something somehow.
Thinking-
and that's
and
kind
thinking
of
they're gonna
exactly
hide him
what
out.
this reminds me of. Yeah, like these vampires
Yeah.
are going to take us in because we did some dark, brutal shit for the good, because we did it because she was getting fucking molested. So they're
Right.
gonna be with us, But that is just fucking ridiculously insane. And if they really did think that they were gonna fucking meet Anne Rice, I mean that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they were gonna go have some Dairy Queen with Anne Rice
Jesus.
or something like that. I don't fucking know. That's pretty funny. But they drove this they broke the trip up to Baton Rouge in a few days for some reason, but it's only a 9.5 hour
said-
ride.
They said that they were trying to throw off the authorities that were going to be coming after
okay.
them. So they didn't want to go straight to the destination.
I
But
see.
go the fuck to where you're going. You just made fucking
Or go
one day
lay
less
low for a
forward.
while.
You're
Yeah.
tripping
Yeah,
balls.
yeah.
You ain't thinking about that shit at all.
Yeah, go fucking hole up somewhere and just stay there for a while. But they do eventually, like you said, Joey, get rid of the crowbar and some water, I saw. And so at least has the sense to fucking get rid of that.
Yeah, don't keep it around.
Right. Now, Steph Charity ends up calling her grandma, and she winds up becoming the one that kind of causes the ship here to sail or to sink. What happens with her?
Yeah, I think they ran out of gas or money. They couldn't get to where they were going. In the movie, the Vampire Clan, she calls from a hotel, and they have her grandma Western
Best West.
yeah.
Western Union.
Western Union. The
Just say wire the
transfer
money.
Yeah.
Right.
To
Yeah, it
them,
was a
and
Howard
she calls the-
Johnson's. They were going to
Yeah.
meet them at the Howard Johnson's in Baton Rouge, but the
And
cops
the
already
aunt,
know.
she lived up in fucking South Dakota.
Right.
So, like, that's fucking, she's way out there, but she's not out of the loop, though.
No, she knows
Right.
what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, so the cops are in on it, so they know exactly where they're going to be at what time, and so they're there, and so these idiots are about to get fucking busted, and so the cops are waiting for them when they show up. The Klan is taken to jail. They're in Baton Rouge for a week. The Klan. You guys can laugh at that. That's what they call it. I don't know what to tell you. They call
It's
it-
not spelled with a K. It's spelled with a C.
That's right.
Well, I was laughing. I was laughing at the fact of the whole vampire clan getting put in jail together. That's just funny.
Dude, was that real though? That I saw like when they were still in fucking, or not Florida, but Louisiana, that they fucking, or wherever the fuck they got arrested. That
Baton Rouge, yeah.
yeah, that fucking Rod and the chick, his girlfriend, was like making out in the holding cell.
I
and
did
shit.
see that
They're
too.
just
Like,
like,
they put them
"Ah,
all
Yeah.
together. Like
This
what?
is the last time
Yeah.
we're gonna fucking be able to get intimate. What up?
I guess. So they're in. They get extradited back to Florida. They end up at the Lake County Jail initially, but then get put in the juvenile facility in Ocala. So, Chris, they wind up getting an indictment or not getting an indictment on Heather. So they let her go, and then this chick walks into some pretty nice shit.
Yeah. Well, the fact
I
that
mean,
she
her
didn't,
parents are gone, obviously.
right, but the fact she didn't get shit, like as far as like
Charges.
or anything,
Right.
the fucking court just is like, oh, we feel sorry for you. You claim not to know that this was going to happen. I'm sorry, you
Right.
troubled teenager. But yeah, but then all of a sudden she gets fucking this big ass inheritance, and her sister
$1
fucking-
million.
Yeah, her and her sister put fucking, and she gets to walk away scot free.
Right, with $500,000.
Like, what the fuck even happened there? Like,
Yeah.
she should have got some kind of trouble because she was there with them when that happened.
Right.
Like, she may not have went into the house, but she was in the vehicle with homeboy covered in blood.
Well, look at the Manson murders, right? I mean, the getaway driver got busted with them, but she wound up turning against them, so that's what got her out of it.
I don't know.
She
think
got away
shoulda
really
got,
easy
like
here.
smooth. No, she got off smooth.
Yeah, I mean, she should have
I
got
think-
at least
I
a
think
little bit of
that-
time.
I think that she was fucking definitely more in on what was going on than
Oh,
had ever.
I agree
got
for
let out.
sure.
Right.
And I understand that, you know, they fucking saw her as being traumatized through the thing, and then Rod's also taken fucking full you
Right.
know,
Right.
he's like,
Ownership
I'm guilty of all
of it.
this
Like,
exactly.
none of them did
And-
anything. I did this.
Yeah. So in that respect, I get that, but if you're gonna let her get away scot free, why not let Scott get away scot free, and why not
Right.
let
Yeah.
the girls,
The other
because
two girls.
That's none of them did anything else any more than Heather did, and Heather's the one that fucking gave them access into the house, told them
Instigated
where
it.
the keys were,
Right.
Yeah, and,
Right.
and you
Exactly.
come back to the car. You come back to the car covered in blood. You know what happened. Even if you didn't
Right.
see what he did to your parents, you know what happened.
You know exactly
And you
what
went with
happened.
them.
You know
Yeah.
your parents are dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were along for that ride.
You know what's
He
crazy
didn't
too?
start his menstrual period or anything. I mean, like he
No.
just killed your fucking parents with a fucking crowbar. He comes to the car covered in blood with a crowbar in his hand, throws it in the back and says, "All right, let's go." I mean, what the fuck? I mean, how does she deny that she knew that? I mean, that's
What were
I
you gonna
agree.
say, Stephanie?
What's crazy too is this scenario. You know, hey, my parents are abusing me, kill them, is the same thing Gypsy Rose did, and she got 10
Right.
years, and she didn't touch
Yeah.
her mom,
True.
and
Exactly.
Heather gets off scot free.
That's a good point.
I'll
I just
go
saw
with it.
something on Gypsy Rose the other day. But yeah, that's an interesting parallel, and also reminds me a little bit, guys, of the one we did with Starkweather with the girl.
yeah.
What was her name?
Exactly what I was thinking.
Carol Ann Fugate.
Yes.
Where she claimed, she didn't have anything to do with it, but yet down the road they find that maybe she was a lot more involved with this than she let on, and she also walked away. So it's interesting sometimes how that happens, honestly.
Man, side note too, I saw this movie the other night called Hounds of Love, and it's streaming, I think, Netflix or something.
Oh, is that the
But-
one on the Perth?
Bernie.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, that was good. I'd never seen
It
it,
was
before.
good. Yeah, it's loosely
So, yeah,
based, but it's pretty close, though.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, David and Catherine Burney. Yeah, no, that's a good one. I think it's Australian made too. I like that a lot. So yeah, I mean, Joey, they see that Rod pleads guilty, like we've been saying. I mean, he owned up to this, saying everybody else, wasn't involved. But what is his defense attorneys? I mean, what do you do in a case like this with a guy that thinks he's a 500-year-old vampire?
Right. The only thing they can do is fucking go for the insanity plea.
Right.
He was diagnosed. He had Asperger's and I think something else too.
Yeah, schizotypal personality disorder.
Right. But it's like, if you're not going to give him the defense plea in that, well, Jesus Christ, this motherfucker believes he's 500 years old, and he's like, how? That's fucking batshit crazy, right there.
That's fucking nuts as shit.
That's true, man.
And you was able to fucking get people to follow you that deep, like.
Yeah.
He's
definitely off his fucking rocker. I would agree. If anybody meets the definition of insane, he wasn't really trying to hide anything either. I mean, honestly, I mean, to some degree maybe, but I mean, he certainly wasn't acting like a normal person after a murder would be, laying low, maybe going to Mexico, not going to fucking Baton Rouge to go play in an arcade and go meet Anne Rice for fucking ice cream. I don't know. I mean, what the fuck?
I did see that he was fucking saying, oh hell, now I forgot what I was saying because I'm fucking high.
That happens.
I'll remember.
That's okay. That's all right. So, but Joey, you mentioned Asperger syndrome, and he doesn't get off like the old feather thief did, who had Asperger's and used that as his defense. Remember that? With Borat's fucking brother representing him.
That's fucking, I do remember that.
Yeah, the guy that plays Borat.
Yes, I do remember. Sacha Baron
insane.
Cohen's brother. Yeah.
So I also saw that Rod had some people from the University of Florida that said he heard demons and angels. I saw that. And I don't know.
No, you're not crazy. You're just fucking stupid. You're psychotic.
Yeah, which is like a schizophrenia thing, but he had that schizotypal disorder, so I mean, he could be hearing voices. But again, you don't know how much of it is an act and how much of it is real.
Right.
Yeah, what were you going to say, Joe?
What I was going to say. One part of his defense for a second, I don't think they went ahead with this, but probably in the early stages when they were trying to figure out how the fuck they were going to try to get out of this. But for a second, he tried to say that it was a rival vampire clan.
Oh, yeah. No, it was the original clan.
That killed it. Yeah. And,
Aiden.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, holy fuck, how many vampire clans do you have running around Murray, fucking Kentucky, But they said that there were a handful of them, though.
Oh, wow.
Dude, like in the documentary, you see the cop rolling around. Oh, yeah, all the vampires used to hang out right here all the time at night.
The Vampire Hotel, man.
What the fuck, man?
It's fucking
I wanted
wild.
to see if that place was still there that they were hanging out at, because it looked really fucking cool, but I'm sure it's probably torn down now. But
Probably.
Yeah.
So I did see, though, that his father came down to testify, but I don't know if he was testifying against him, but I know that he testified and referred to him as the child.
Never called him by his name, never talked to him or
so
whatever.
Rod is like completely crushed. It was the first time he ever cried. He went to his cell, the guard said, and cried because of that, because that was the first time he had ever seen his dad, and his dad like totally blew him off and then wouldn't even use his name.
That's the child. This is the Mandalorian. This is the child.
Yeah, I mean, just so fucking weird and sad at the same time. Now, Steph, so what sort of sentences came down in this case?
Yeah, they said the state of Florida, 16, you could be considered an adult. So Rod got the death penalty, but later they had a new law, so he got
life.
He got life, without parole, I believe, and then
Scott
got a life sentence as well. Charity got 10 and a half years, and Dana got 17 and a half years, which I feel is bullshit. Because
Yeah, how
They
did-
got
there.
the same right.
And I wonder, why did Dana get 7 more years than Charity? I
For
don't
the
know
same
what.
chart.
I don't know what she
Was she
did
the
that was any
oldest?
worse.
She was the oldest. Yeah, she was
I think
over
she was the
18
oldest, so it
or
was-
19.
Okay.
She
that
had more
makes
of a
sense.
contributing delinquency. Yeah.
I get
I
it.
see.
I get it.
I see.
And she drove the
Interesting.
car or something like that. I don't know.
Okay, and Scott, man, that's rough, man, getting a life sentence. But we're gonna get to him. He gets a little bit of an adjustment with that. Now, I'm not sure, how this sentence is, but like the fact that the one was an adult, that definitely makes sense that she got 7 more years than the other. So. I see Charity gets out in 2006. Dana got out in 2011. Of course, Rod and Scott go through the usual appeal process. Scott manages, though, to get his sentence redone to 40 years instead of life, and he is eligible for parole 2031, so still a ways
So
off. But,
coming up.
he
to,
may have, at least some kind of life if they parole him, if he's
I mean,
turns himself around,
I
but
plan
that
on
just
still being
sucks.
alive in 2031. Fucking.
But that
younger
just
than me.
sucks. I mean, he, like Joey said, we've all been saying, this poor bastard was just there. He didn't fucking do anything, but he's in the house. He's an accessory to it, and
Right.
unfortunately, that's the way the law is. And it just, in his condition, just such a stupid fucking thing in your youth. Just sounded like a good time. Get in a car and go
Yeah,
to
let's go
Florida,
for a ride. Next thing you know,
drop
you
some
fucking-
acid, and now you're doing
Now
a
you're just
fucking
like,
40-year
what the
fucking bit
fuck did I just witness?
in Florida. So yeah, it's fucked up. But in prison interviews, he seems to kind of get off on the notoriety. As we were saying, in this early time in prison was all about the vampire, persona and all that. But I did hear, as we've been joking around, Rod's mom got in a little bit of trouble. She winds up having sex with a 14-year-old friend of Rod's.
I didn't see they actually had sex. I thought it was
Oh,
solicitation to
They
a
found all them love
14-year-old.
letters and shit. She was.
I
writing.
saw that, yeah, but I saw it was solicitation. I never saw
okay.
it was actual.
I thought that she did.
sexual involvement. but,
Okay. Well, either way.
yeah. But either
pretty
way,
fucked
yeah,
up.
either way.
They were showing fucking video from Rod's sentencing, and the judge is talking to him, and behind him is his mom, and fucking the judge is like, I think your mom should also be found guilty on certain things, the fact that she basically fucking brought him into all that shit and then never ever tried to get him help for any of the shit that fucking he was going
Just let him
through.
do what he
She
wanted,
saw
right?
it. Yeah, but it's funny because the whole time the judge is talking to her, she's looking dead back at that judge in her face, shaking her head no, and fucking mouthing shit at that judge, just like, fuck you talking about me and shit.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty
Dude,
crazy, yeah.
Even in that
It
documentary, her mom's just like all fucking still just dressed in all black, fucking just like this is what happens. Fucking
Some
whatever.
people's parents will never grow up out of that crazy shit, man.
Yeah, and they always say, the wild shit always happens in Florida. So you got these Kentucky fucking hillbillies going to fucking the white trash fucking Mecca in Florida and just getting into some fucking just stupid fucking mess. I mean, just ridiculous.
Just normal days in the trailer park, man.
I guess.
I moved
So-
out the trailer park.
So,
did.
anything to add to this one, guys? I mean, the Kentucky fucking vampire cult, vampire clan, whatever you want to call them.
Shit's fucked
Anybody got anything to add to this one?
up. I don't.
No? All right. Well, I think we did a pretty good job with that. We're about an hour and
That was a
18,
fun
so a little bit longer of an episode, but that's okay. I don't know if we'll
was
beat
wrong.
last week at 2 hours and
older.
40 minutes. But holy shit. All right. Well, very good. I did my research by watching a couple documentaries on YouTube. I also read parts of that book Steph gave me, The Embrace by Aphrodite Jones. And I listened to the Mile High podcast, which was actually pretty good. However, at some point in the beginning, one of the co-hosts admits on the show that him and his girlfriend love the Twilight movies. So I started laughing because I know how much Chris loves the Twilight stuff, but the sparkling vampires, and I'm just like, oh my God, can I even listen to this? But the production was really good. It was a very well polished podcast, and the information was good. I learned quite a few things that I didn't hear in other places when I listened to that. So if you're interested in this, there's definitely plenty of shit out there. We also talked about that movie called Vampire Clan, which was crazy. Jenny was going through her DVDs because my sister's coming this Saturday to visit. And so we were getting things ready because they're going to be sleeping in the hide-a-bed. And so she's like, do you know if this movie's about that Kentucky vampire shit you're researching? And I was like, what? And it was the fucking Vampire Clan movie. I had just put it in the notes that there was a movie called Vampire Clan. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, let's watch it. And we threw it in and watched it, and it was all right. I mean, it was pretty decent, but like I said, some of the acting was kind of ridiculous. But, it's part of it. And it kind of fit with these goofballs, so it wasn't too bad. But there's stuff out there if you're interested.
If you watch the documentary though, with the actual kids,
the interviews with the kids, those.
Oh my God, it's so classic.
It is very 90s.
God
very
damn.
90s. Now next week, guys, we are going up to Canada, which means we're getting a hold of our buddy Shane Borchuk.
Hell yeah.
To come on and talk with us, Chris, about old Peter Woodcock. I mean,
if that's not a porn name, I don't know what the fuck.
That's right,
Dude.
What a perfect fucking name. And
Dude.
this is such a fucking gross, heinous story because it involves child abduction
and your name
fucking sexual assault. I mean, brutal.
Peter Woodcock.
Yeah,
you got molested by Peter Woodcock,
right?
Like that.
I know. I
damn.
mean, it's going to be filled with all sorts of fucking jokes like that. Probably worse than tonight. So if you're listening to tonight and thinking like that one commenter last week thought we were a bunch of immature idiots,
Oh, we are.
you're going to listen to the Peter Woodcock episode, which of course I saved it for the week of Christmas. Peter Woodcock at Christmas sounds like a fucking movie, So it should be great.
I literally.
Shane's fired up. Shane's fired up to do it. It's going to be great. He's going to be on Zoom with us.
I literally work with a dude with a porn star name. His name is Danny Steele. That's a straight up porn star name.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, I mean, Peter
My
Richard.
sister's name is Phoenix Star.
All right.
There you go.
I'll have to
my
look that
middle
up.
name is Richard. My middle name is Richard. Okay, so Peter Richard.
Peter Dick.
I got twice.
If if my name was Richard, I would say, call me Richard. It's long for Dick.
Fuck yeah.
So
dude.
this is going to be good next week. You don't want to miss it. Joey, you got any page a day for us?
Yeah, I got some page a day. All right. I got 3 of them, couple funnier ones, and then a pretty fucked up one. So the first one I'm talking about, this is just random taxes. This isn't even crime. I don't even know why this is in this page a day, but it's still pretty funny. But it's random taxes that certain states have. So in California, if you get fruit out of a vending machine, they will charge you a 33% tax on that fruit if you buy it out of a vending machine.
Wow. So, like, I woke up like it's a soda machine. There's an orange. It says 50 cents. So now it's like fucking 85 cents? What the fuck?
Well, they probably have the final price on there.
Okay, yeah.
Jacked
Okay,
up.
so if I walk up to the fucking
Yeah.
produce aisle and it's 50 cents, I pay more at the vending
Right.
machine. Right, okay.
Yes.
All right.
So then in Maryland has something called a flush tax. Maryland business
Tell me
owners
it's not
and
about my
homeowners pay $250 a month for the privilege to poop.
Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious? So wait, they expect nobody's flushing when they piss?
Right. Well, I'm $250 a month for everybody.
I know. I get you.
Yeah. Okay, so in Connecticut, now adult diapers are untaxed, but kids' diapers you have to pay a tax on in Connecticut. So you can get your Depend for fucking free, no tax. But if you got kids, you're paying that shit. Yeah. Yep.
That's fucking weird.
In New York, you have to pay uncut bagels are tax free, but if you buy a quote unquote altered bagel, you have to pay 8 cents. So if you have it cut in half or anything, you have to pay 8 cents. And then the last one,
That's fucked up.
What?
and then in Kansas, if you take a hot air balloon ride, you can take it unattached, but if you take it tethered, you have to pay for an additional tax because it's considered amusement. If you detach, it's considered transportation and untaxed.
Oh my God, that's fucked up.
That's crazy, right?
That's good shit.
So like I said,
I feel like that's safety.
Yeah, it wasn't even crime shit, but that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, Paige
okay.
Day.
Now, this one's pretty this is pretty wild, but I obviously know about this because I've been locked up before, but they're talking about prison labor by the numbers. Now, the 13th Amendment of the Constitution abolished slavery except as punishment for crime whereof the parties shall have been duly convicted. Now, this constitutional loophole, they allow for prison labor, which is often criticized as being institutionalized slavery. Here's some typical wages that prison laborers get.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah. Inmate firefighters get $2.90 to $5.12 per day. They get $1 per hour if they're in an active emergency. The national average for non-industry prison jobs is 14 cents to 63 cents an hour.
Wow.
The national average for labor done for state-owned businesses is 33 cents to $1.41 an hour. Now this is fucked up. The national average maximum and minimum for prison wages in 2001 was 93 cents minimum, $4.73 a day maximum. In 2017, 6 years later, it's only 86 cents a day or $3.45 maximum.
Oh my God.
So that dropped. So now you make less. The last factoid, they say, 2 weeks. That's how long it takes inmates on an average prison salary to save up to buy a box of tampons.
God
Wow.
damn.
When I taught, it's been a while since I've done this, but I've done training in prisons before for the guys that do the asbestos removal, and they made more there doing that than anything else in the prison system, and they got $1 an hour. So
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that's that for
Holy
for
fuck.
an inmate. That's pretty good jack, $8 a day compared to what you're talking about. So they loved it, and they got to travel from prison to prison doing the work. So they got a little change of
Still,
scenery, extra money.
like
So it
that's
was a
straight
big deal.
slavery with your snack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty fucked up.
It's crazy.
Interesting.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is fucked up. But at the same time, like you were saying, Pete, like when I was locked up, fuck yeah, I was glad to be working and doing something,
Right.
and not
Busy.
just staring at the wall thinking about fucking how shitty life was,
For sure.
Never mind.
Yeah,
All
a lot
right,
of them
so,
got a
this-
day off their sentence for every day they worked too. That was another
Yeah,
perk of
day
it.
for day.
Yeah.
Yep. This is the last one from Page Today. This is a really good one. This is a survivor story about a kid named Kyle Ramirez. So, December 1st, 2008, an emaciated, bloody 16-year-old Kyle Ramirez ran into a gym in Tracy, California and begged for help. "Please hide me," he said. He had a shackle around one ankle, and he had suffered escalating abuse for years, including more than a year of total captivity prior to this escape. Ramirez had been left by his mother in the care of a friend named Karen Ramirez when he was 8 years old. His mother signed guardianship of Kyle over to her in a handwritten note. Child Protective Services allowed Kyle and his sibling to stay with the Ramirezes without conducting required investigations or attempting to contact biological relatives. In 2005, Kyle's sibling was put into protective custody because of physical abuse by Ramirez. The sibling told CPS that Kyle was subjected to similar torture, abuse, and deprivation, but Kyle remained with Ramirez until April 2007 when she was arrested for abuse. Kyle was then placed into protective custody. The next month he was reported missing, and he wouldn't be seen again until he entered that gym in 2008 pleading for help. In early May 2007, less than a month after he was removed by CPS, Ramirez coerced Kyle to return to her care. And at that point, the two of them, Ramirez and Kyle, they moved in with one Michael Shoemaker and Kelly Lane Lau. And for the next 18 months, Ramirez, Shoemaker, Lau, and then they had a neighbor named Anthony Waiters. They subjected Kyle to unspeakable abuse, starting with chaining him to a table and escalating to beating and burning him. Shortly before Kyle's escape, before he escaped, he coaxed Shoemaker's 2-year-old son to give him a spare set of keys to his chains, which he saw lying around the house. He unchained himself, and Law caught him in the kitchen trying to find something to eat. She and Ramirez chained him to a child's chair, and Ramirez cut him in the back with a meat cleaver. Kyle then overheard Shoemaker and Waiters discussing killing him and dumping his remains, so he knew he had to get the fuck out of there. He had managed to hold on to the keys that Shoemaker's son had given him, so he still had the keys. So he unchained himself and he made a run for it. He jumped on a trampoline in the backyard to launch himself over the fence and then ran to the nearest public place.
Fuck yeah, dude, get it.
Was the gym. Shoemaker, Lau, and Ramirez, they all pleaded guilty to multiple charges, including use of a deadly weapon and causing great bodily injury to a child. They were each sentenced to more than 30 years in prison. Anthony Waiters, he was the only one that went to trial. Kyle, who at this point during the trial, now Kyle's an 18-year-old. He's 6'2", 250-pound football player, and he testifies against Waiters, showing the jury his scars and telling him how Waiters had cut him, beaten him with an aluminum bat, and then he treated his wounds with wax, superglue, butter, salt, and clear tape. In his defense, Waiters described himself as not a malevolent person and altruistic. He was found guilty of torture and child abuse and sentenced to 3 concurrent life sentences. He'll be eligible for parole in 2030, a year before old Scotty will, that we were just talking about.
Right.
After his escape, Kyle went to live with his maternal aunt. He went to therapy, began playing football and making friends. He enrolled in college. And in 2015, the county of Sacramento paid him $4 million to settle a civil suit against the county's CPS service, which had failed to follow protocol in the years leading up to his imprisonment.
Good for him.
Fucking right. Good for him, dude. Yeah, definitely.
Wow. That's awesome.
Holy
So
shit.
that's Page a Day.
Hell yeah, man. Page a Day always never lets us down. That's for sure. Good stuff.
That's a fucking brutal ass shit, though, man. Motherfucker hurled himself off a trampoline across the fence. Like, I'm out this bitch. Peace.
Right. Wow. Well, Steph, thanks for coming on with us and
thank you,
subjecting
Steph.
the topic.
Yes.
I know you're going to hang in. You're going to hang in with us. Joey said throughout the episode. Is that still your plan?
Yep.
All right.
Hell
Very
yeah, word
cool.
up.
Well, I hope we did that one justice. We've done our fair share of murdering tonight. I think it's time to crank up some heavy fucking metal. So, Steph,
Noise.
what the hell do we need to do?
Let's get our metal on.
Just because CK has passed on, he's not done educating the masses. CK will forever be the great metal motherfucker. We're here to stomp poser ass and eradicate the planet of their kind. CK has passed the torch to us, and we will forge the fuck on. In CK's name, we will bestow metal knowledge upon all of you. All right, we are in the metal segment. The great metal motherfucker watching over us. Chris put the Santa hat on CCK.
Yeah, see?
He's all in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we could have put it on Bundy. I mean, we really could have put it on any of them, man. But maybe I just need to buy a whole.
Yeah, I gotta
fucking...
put I'll get the one on Jim Jones next week for sure.
Yeah, they might
yeah.
be funny like on all these masks in here. I can't wait for the Eileen Warnos. I'm waiting for my email from Rick saying you're next. We're going to be in the top few,
Yeah,
but I'm going to
yeah.
go with the color version of it.
Yeah, the light one.
Yeah.
The zombie one is cool, but it's $50 more, and I like the realistic
Yeah,
ones
yeah.
a little bit more.
Definitely.
Jenny really liked, and I do too. The black and white one was wicked as hell. I'm like, damn, that's almost a tough call there, but I went with the regular flesh tone version of it. So anxious for that. It'll be our 10th Sick Rick mask in here. All right, well, Chris, you got the horns tonight.
got
They're right
them.
there in front of you.
got them right
Physically
here.
got
Right.
the goat horns.
There they are.
And your brother Michael is waving around a
let me get a
fifth
pull of that real quick.
McCormick
Yeah, let me get a pull of that
whiskey.
before I
So
start
Chris
this.
is getting ready to
I got
do
that
the
mother-
metal
I'm gonna
segment.
take a pull of this. 'cause,
He's going to take his pull and get his mind right.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I'm in for it, Joey. I got both Shawback brothers in here drinking McCormick's. And I'm just gonna sit here and eat my Pop-Tart and shut the fuck up. So Chris, you got the horns.
There you
So
go.
what are you talking about tonight?
This is going to be pretty short because it's a fairly short-lived band, and I just kind of went through the basics because I've never really heard of a lot of people that when I mention them know who the Locust is, and so I'm just going to go through it real quick. So the Locust was formed in 1994 by Bobby Ray, Justin Pearson, Dylan Scherf, Dave Warsaw, and Dave Astor from San Diego, California. Now, the band is listed genres as being multiple things: grindcore, metalcore, power violence, and noise. Now, if you listen to the fucking goddamn Locust, you will totally understand the noise, because it is just insane. I love it personally. But so, like I said, they formed in 1994, and fucking after a few lineup changes, they fucking came to their lineup, which was 4 people, which was Bray Pearson and then Joey Karam and Gabe Serbian. I wonder if he had anything to do with the Serbian film. Probably not, but who knows. So then in
I just told Stephanie about Serbian film the other day. That's
no shit, nice. That's good. So in 1998, they released their first full-length self-titled album on Gold Standard Laboratories, the record label. And I'm not gonna get into their song titles because their song titles are ridiculous. As per the one that I chose to play
I thought that was funny.
for the evening. Fucking their song titles are just fucking ridiculous, dude. They're fucking good as shit. So yeah, like I said, 98, their first full length was self-titled on Golden Standard, and then in 2003 was their second full length, Plague Soundscapes, which is a great fucking album title. Because why could that not be the best album title for a noise band ever?
Yeah.
Fucking, but they released that on Anti Records, which is actually a sister label to Epitaph Records, which most people know Epitaph Records. It's like old school punk shit, fucking whatever. Like, and they were like hardcore
Rancid.
punk. Yeah, they were like heavy ass punk, fucking straight up badass band. And 2007 it was their third and honestly their final, like, full-length album that they recorded new material on ever was called New Erections. So like anytime you get an erection, it's a new one, right? That's the only thing I can think of. Like, well, that ain't the same boner I had yesterday. This is a new one. Like, fuck. So and they fucking did some fucking tours on that fucking album. They did a whole thing with that, and then they went on a big ass hiatus for a while. Didn't do anything, and then they put out fucking in 2010. They put out the Peel Sessions, which they had honestly recorded 9 years earlier. Fucking so like
Yeah,
2000
Carcass did some of those.
Yeah,
It
so
was in
2001,
London, I think.
yeah. And so, like, the Peel Sessions was this dude, John Peel. He was a BBC DJ, and he was, like, the first European DJ to put out fucking, like, punk and indie music and progressive
Yeah, Merciful Fate
and
did
all
some.
kinds of shit like that. Like, he fucking put all that shit out. So, like, and he was also a producer of albums, too. So everything he did with John Peel, they just put that out as the Peel Sessions, which makes sense. But like,
think his
as
thing
I
was he
started,
recorded the
which
bands
I might
live.
actually do him as a segment, like John Peel, because like being that dude, like as I was like, what the fuck is the Peel Sessions? I started reading about it. I'm like, holy shit, this dude was pretty innovative about what he did at his time with this music and all that shit. So, but yeah, so then in 2012, they put out the Golden Standard Labs, which was a compilation, which was every song they did on fucking the Golden Standard Laboratories label. Oh, what up, Smush? Oh, look at that guy. Oh, what's up, buddy?
I'm trying to keep him quiet.
No, look at him. He's so smushy faced. I'm glad you got your dog. Fuck yeah.
But nobody else can see him.
No, nobody else. Hey, just so everybody knows, Joey Steph's sitting here with Smush, the dog we talking about. He's the. Look at him. Sorry, guys, I got off track. Fuck. but yeah, fucking. Yeah, the Golden Standard Labs, like I said, was a comp. It's everything they did on Golden Standard Laboratories record label, and it was fucking. It's like a lot of songs that are on their other albums, but it's how they recorded them on that label and those periods. So like,
That's cool.
it's fucking badass. I love the Locust. They're great. And then in shit, I forgot what year it was. I didn't write it down. I'm an idiot. But 2020, I think it was. Their drummer, Gabe Serbian, he passed away, and that's when the band decided they're never going to do anything again together as a band. So they are just no longer a band anymore. That's the only albums they ever put off. But as they were still a band, they had things going on. Like they were known, like their name of the name of the band is the Locust. So they would have like insect costumes while they're on stage, kind of theatrical shit going on, just having fun ass times.
Like Randy and Leahy, like that kind of.
Oh my god,
Bumblebee and
they're
stuff.
not furries. But fuck. But yeah, and then they had other shit going on with the fucking band. Like they had this whole controversy going on because at their shows they'd sell little mirrors with like their logo on it and shit. You know, like you used to get at the fucking fair. You win the game and you get the little mirror with Motley Crue on it and
The
shit.
Slayer mirror.
Yeah, the Slayer mirror. Fuck it. Yeah. Well, they got it all
Leonard
this shit.
Skinner.
Yeah, they got all this shit because they were like, people were like, oh, you're promoting cocaine. It's like, what the fuck? Motherfucking 13-year-old kid can go to the fair and fucking win one of these, dude. Like, just because we saw him at the show, what the shit? But yeah, but
And you can get roach clips at the fair too.
100%, dude. You could go get a
Right.
roach clip all day long. You can go fucking throw a quarter in a machine, and lucky enough, you win a fucking pocket knife at fucking 10 years old, just wandering around. Like, what the fuck?
Now you can't make your finger into a fucking gun without
you're
like
getting
getting
suspended.
hauled out of fucking school.
But yeah, literally, go check out the Locust. If you know what noise is, as far as music, like noise metal, noise rock, it is literally just noise, and I love it. They're just like they're like mathcore too, but because all their beat tempos are just like way the fuck off all the time, and it's grimy, and I love it.
All right.
If you don't know Locust, go check them out. You may not like them. Most people probably won't.
And
but-
we got a 60-second clip coming up of them,
Yeah.
so you're gonna get to hear
you're
this.
gonna hear it.
Now I got the Lost Classic this week, and I picked an album I know all of us know and probably love. 1985 Slayer, Hell Awaits. I was so excited when this came out because I just got into Show No Mercy and Live Undead, and then this came out and I was like, holy shit, man. I just really, really love this album. Start to finish, just such a great collection of tunes. And at the time that it came out, very influential on me. I had just been playing bass a year, so I was like, and I liked the whole bassist singer thing, so
Right, fuck
always
yeah.
really liked Slayer.
Fucking
so.
Slayer right there on the hat.
Yeah, them and Venom in the early days were big influences on me. All right, so what has everybody been listening to? Chris, what about you over there in the eclectic Shawback Nation?
Obviously the Locust. Fucking, I've honestly been, after I thought about doing this, like, I was like, this is garbage. I love it. Fucking, I don't know, man. I don't remember shit. I just play shit and I fucking listen to it.
All right. Joey, what about you? 419. I know you've been busy at work, so.
Yeah, busy working and then trying to finish these new Goremonger albums. I got this split. I'm gonna leak a track off it next week here on the podcast.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's a new Goremonger song called "The Bodies in Sugar Creek."
Yes.
Cool.
Pretty dope.
That's fucked up because that's
but
the
also-
creek we used to go to all the time with Sugar Creek. Bro.
I know that's the whole thing, and
Fuck yeah.
it's about a different Sugar Creek, and where they found a body hanging from the fucking bridge or whatever. But to me, it's that, but it's also we used to swim in Sugar Creek, so we were the bodies in Sugar Creek.
Hell yeah,
So,
dude. I love it.
Nice.
Look, kind of a little nostalgia in my grind shit, but besides that, man, I've been jamming that new fucking Stabbing album. That shit is so fucking sick.
Bro.
Yeah,
just came out on
that chick
Comatose.
singer is
Bro.
fucking brutal as fuck, man. Holy shit. She fucking brings it, man. That's definitely intense. I've been jamming this band. I mentioned them, I think, last week. Annihilation Process. They're fucking badass. They're
Yeah.
from Minneapolis, I think, or St. Paul. Really, really good. It's thrash, but it's fucking heavy and a lot of riffs. They got an EP called Sickening Madness. And, of course, Slayer Hell Awaits. And then that new Corrosive, man. I can't stop listening to Toxic Apocalypse, really good. And also that band Howler I mentioned last week. Those guys are really good, too. Another CDN band. So lots of CDN bands in my
Fucking
rotation here
Canadians are
lately.
the shit with their
Fucking
music.
wicked, man.
Canadians and Australians, bro.
Yeah, for sure. And bands, if you're in a band and you want to be heard on Murder Metal Mayhem, you can get a hold of us at pete@murdermetalmayhem.com. There's no guarantee we're going to play it, but we will check it out. And, we're always looking for new bands to play, interview, what have you. So get a hold of us, or if you want to go old school and send it in by mail, Murder Metal Mayhem, P.O. Box 554, Hayworth, Illinois 61745. Throw in a sticker or two. Maybe we'll throw it on the door because we're running out of room on the table.
Throw in an extra because
But we love stickers, so
throw
them
in
in.
an extra sticker.
You want to
because
throw
I'll
in some
throw it on my-
Pop-Tarts? Hell, we
I'll
may
throw a
move you up the
sticker on my
list a little
fucking
bit.
kayak because it's going to be it's cold right now. As soon as it gets warm, that kayak's hitting the water a lot. And I'm putting all the stickers I have
Oh,
piled
nice.
up at home.
Oh,
They're
fuck
going
yeah.
on my kayak.
Awesome. All right, Joey, you got the horns next. Any idea who you're going to do next week? When we're talking some Peter
I do,
Woodcock.
but I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, Peter Woodcock. I'm gonna keep it a complete fucking secret. Like, you guys ain't gonna know this one. It's gonna be a really, really good one, and both of you guys are gonna be like, "How the fuck have we not fucking thought to do this band yet?" So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Our listeners will be stoked. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I was meant to ask this earlier, and I'm going to pose the question to Stephanie, guys. We're going to put the entire decision on Stephanie's shoulders of should we announce who we're going to do in the feature of the final episode of the year, because we have not announced it yet. Stephanie, should the listeners wait till next week,
Oh, shit,
or
I don't
should
even
they hear
remember
it now?
myself. You need to say something because I don't remember.
I mean, I want to know now.
All right. Joey, you want to tell them who we're going to feature in the final episode of 2022? Do you know who it is?
Fuck, now I can't remember. Now I'm spacing on it.
Right?
So I guess
I'm
we got to talk about it.
Okay, it's H.H. Holmes.
Oh
The
yeah!
fucking
Holy
Oh,
fuck.
yeah.
Murder
Yeah,
case.
dude.
Oh, yeah.
I was like stumped, like wait, we
we've
do
been
so much.
holding-
It's like
We've been holding on H.H. Holmes, but I thought, why not? Fuck it. We'll end the year with some H.H. Holmes. So that's going to be the final episode.
Yeah.
Oh.
But next week, Peter Woodcock. So we got Peter Woodcock and then H.H. Holmes. What a way to end the fucking year. It's going to be good. So
we're taking the Holmes mask and we're just gonna set it up so he's right.
we
there
have to. Yeah.
between us.
Yeah, we have to do something with
You
that.
know, I'm pissed off at myself that I just didn't flip over my fucking inbox real fast so I could look at the features list and I would have remembered it was H.H.
Word.
That's funny.
Word.
So very cool. The Patreon, the supporters, we appreciate those of you that are
Thank
a
you
member
that
of the
are.
666
Michael.
Club. And patreon.com/Murder Metal Mayhem. Link to that in the episode description. And remember, you can also go to murdermetalmayhem.com and go on the merch store and order. You can join the club that way, and it's 25% off. So it's cheaper
Come
to do it
get
that
it.
way. So either way, you support the cause, help us pay the bills, help us keep that heater on over there because it was a little chilly and it's fine in here now. But
Man, if we
goddamn,
could get a fucking timer on that,
it was
bitch.
cold. I know. I've thought about doing something like that. All right. So don't miss our last episode of the year in 2 weeks. It's going to be great. We're going to be counting down our top 5 albums. And I know I'm going to have a couple of honorable mentions. It's hard to get it to 5. However, I've got my 5, and I made the call today of which one I think's number 1 on my list, but it's going to be great, and we're going to do that in the final episode. That'll be our metal segment.
Basically
Is
what
our
we
top
do.
5s, yeah. So that'll be cool. And I think we've done plenty of metal tonight. So Joey, what the fuck are we got to do now?
Let's go fucking into Mayhem for a while. Are you looking to put a bit of gas into your life? Nothing livens up a party faster than ripping ass for a house full of guests at a dinner party. We can teach you to fart to music in our Master Flatulence course. It's really a gas. Our students can toot away to old school country, fart staccato to some upbeat jazz, or get down and nasty on some wet ass sax to some funky R&B. So, call us today at Mad Gasser Flatulence Academy in Mattoon, Illinois, and find out what your ass has been missing all these years. Don't let another moment go by without letting your colon do the talking. We can make it happen.
All right.
There's a lot of farting action going on there with the Mad Gasser.
2019, going back to 2019, the Mad Gasser
Right.
Flatulence Academy. That was pretty funny. Good stuff. It's been a while since I'd heard it. So that was pretty funny to hear.
Cash.
And before that was
Sorry,
the
Jeff.
Locust, the band Chris just did. And
Fucking
the
the
song,
Locust. I told you guys.
Anything Jesus does, I can do better.
Fucking
so that's
right.
pretty fucking crazy.
I told you guys, you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. There's no in between.
Yeah, I
Like,
was,
it's
I
straight
was,
noise metal.
yeah, I was definitely wondering what the hell it was all about. So very good though, Chris.
No, but when I sent you the track, I know you had to hear it to put it on.
Oh, yeah.
When you heard that, what'd you think?
It was pretty much what I was expecting.
Okay, cool.
It was actually more intelligible than I was expecting.
All right, cool.
So no, it was all right.
Hell yeah.
All right, so we got a good killer cage match tonight.
Oh, here we go.
Where we get in there and talk about some people getting ready to fight in the cage. But before that, I'd like to. Joey said he had a Mayhem story for us.
Oh yeah, he
Didn't you,
did.
Joey?
That's right.
Yeah, we're in Mayhem. We're talking shit. And since it's the holidays, I thought I would bring a holiday one up into the mix.
All right.
Gotta be holidays.
Yeah, we got to bring up the holidays. So, what I'm talking about is me, the goremonger, Punky Brooks impersonator himself, Joey Cashman. I have played Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and Gumby, and like each one of them is like slightly a bit of some mayhem. So
Okay. We got some distraction going on here, Joey.
I'm listening to you,
Keep going,
homie.
buddy.
And you know what's hilarious is, of course, now we do everything on Zoom, so, like, I'm sitting here watching you guys do what you're doing. Completely distracted.
Right.
This dog's attacking me.
Yeah, and we're getting attacked by a dog, so we're just... this is mayhem. Like,
Mayhem
you guys
for
wanna hear
real.
Fucking mayhem. We're in mayhem.
I can't.
But yeah. Boom. Gang.
Okay. We're good?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we back?
Jeff just
back to good? Okay.
Jeff just came to pull. No, Jeff just came to pick me and Michael. I'll be sitting in. Just figured he might want to hear it too.
Yeah, so he can hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
So we got him on the headphones. All right, go ahead, Joey.
Just don't tell him to talk, so I don't know what's going on like Courtney was trying to do.
Right?
Yeah,
No, bro.
that was
No.
difficult.
I hear you, brother.
I can't hear you.
I hear you,
know.
brother.
It was not easy to sit here through that, I'll tell you that.
No. Okay, so we're in Mayhem. Like I said, I have played Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and Gumby in various situations, and each one was slightly mayhem. So, being in the spirit of Christmas, I'll start with the Santa Claus. Now, I was 19 years old. Now I was a little older than that. I think I was 21 by that point. But in Bloomington, where Chris is living at, where I used to live, and College Hills Mall used to be a solid mall, not an outdoor.
Right.
Yeah.
Any of us that are old school, we remember that. But,
Oh, yeah.
So I used to work as a customer service rep in that mall, and that entailed like whenever the holidays came around, I did all the gift wrapping and all that shit in the middle of the fucking mall or whatever.
Yeah, that was
Well,
fun.
they came at me and they were like, "Hey, do you want to play the Santa Claus?" And it paid like really well. Like it paid more than what I was getting paid to do what I was doing. And I was like, yeah, I don't give a shit, you know. So yeah, I played Santa Claus back when I was 21, and it's hilarious. My mom's got pictures and all that shit, but it's just like, man, I was a dude who had just got out of prison. You got me fucking sitting here having fucking people sitting on my lap and shit, you know.
Yeah.
Like it was weird. I was like, for every 5 screaming pissy kids, you at least got one cute girl that comes sit in your lap. So fucking that kind of fucking made it worth it, I guess.
Right.
That's
But,
funny.
so yeah, Santa Claus, I did that, and then I went to one of my buddies, Zeller. He ended up dying.
Oh, I
a
know
while back, but,
DZ?
Chris knows DZ. I went up with him to some family Easter thing back whenever we were in high school, and I didn't know anybody up there except for like him and his immediate family. I don't even know why the fuck I went with him, to be honest. Like, I don't know what the hell I was doing. Probably he said he had a bag of weed.
Probably
I wanted to
drugs. I
smoke
was gonna say probably drugs.
But we get up there, and it's like this really super nice house up in the suburbs up in Chicago. Fucking it wasn't Hoffman Estates, but it was outside it, so it was some fucking rich shit, you know.
Right.
And super nice place. Fucking it was a good time. But they were like, hey, since nobody knows you, would you mind dressing up as the Easter Bunny for the kids, you know? And they were going to do a big Easter egg hunt.
They
So
picked
I was
you.
like, yeah, yeah, I was like, yeah, whatever. So I smoked a huge ass fucking joint with I think it was his uncle or something like that, and they gave me the Easter Bunny suit, and I was just out there fucking dancing around with the kids, all fucking stoned and shit.
That's fucking great. Like you picked Joey Cashman.
Yeah, it was so weird. Okay, so then the last part of this Mayhem story is I said I played Gumby, and this was I used to work for a Halloween store that's nationwide that I'm not going to bring up their name just for the, whatever reason, but everybody has one in their town around September.
It's not Spirit.
But it might not be that. But I used to work for there, and they wanted me to go outside, like, on the corner.
Oh, I remember this
Parkway
shit,
and shit. Yeah. And fucking,
like in
and
some
wear
kind of
the
outfit,
Gumby suit.
The Gumby suit? Nice.
Yeah, and wear the Gumby suit. And I was like, yeah, I'll wear the Gumby suit, Before that, there had been an incident that happened I was working 2 jobs. I worked Pier 1 at the time, too. And then the Halloween shop was at the same fucking complex as the Pier 1 was. And some shit went down at Pier 1 that was some fucking bullshit, and I left fucking mad. Like, that was my last day on the job. I fucking quit. Like, I was fucking
just
pissed.
out. Yeah. No, I remember.
Yeah, but I guess I freaked some of them out whenever I was fucking in there fucking cussing up a storm or whatever I was doing, and I left work from Pier 1 and I went down to the Halloween shop. I'm doing that, and that's when they put me in the Gumby suit. Well, apparently the fucking HR lady at Pier 1 fucking called the cops on me for being disorderly or whatever in the store, and they wanted me kicked out, I think, or whatever. But so I'm sitting in the Gumby suit, and the fucking cops come up and fucking arrest me in the Gumby suit.
Wearing the Gumby
on Veterans Parkway. Yeah, wearing the Gumby suit on Veterans Parkway.
I remember that shit.
I'm like, what the fuck? And, dude, it was so fucking crazy. And I remember, like, one of my friends, Tiffany, from back in Fairbury and shit, like, she saw it all going down, I guess.
That would have
like,
been a priceless fucking video to have.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But she thought, and then she started spreading the rumor that they busted me because I was stealing the Gumby suit. So that
I didn't know
went
that
around.
part.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so that was going around before I straightened that out, and also I had my backpack full of fucking weed because I had just picked up back whenever I was selling shit.
Right.
And I fucking ran back. I ran back. I told the fucking, or I didn't say nothing to the cops about my backpack or anything, but they let me out of jail like right away or whatever. They ended up dropping the charges too. They said it was bullshit too. But anyway, whenever they let me out, I fucking I called up to the fucking Halloween shop and I said, look, my backpack is in there. Please do not do anything with it. If you can leave it down because the Constitution Trail right behind there.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
and so she got what was up and she fucking ditched it for me down the Constitution Trail. But yeah, I played fucking Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, and Gumby. So
And got arrested as Gumby.
The next one will be.
That's funny. I got a quick Santa one myself. I used to do the Santa thing. Being a big guy, I usually get asked to do it multiple times with the kids, and tried to fool my son one time. It was really cute. We got that on video. He was like 2. But anyway, the last time I did it, I hung up the Santa suit after this. It was at the trailer court where I used to live, okay?
Yeah.
And, we've all picked on trailer courts. I lived in one
lived in one and
20
picked on
years,
it the whole time.
whatever,
But
right?
nobody had a shed like me.
But I was playing Santa at the trailer park, like Christmas, thing, where they had the kids come up to like the clubhouse and sit on Santa's lap and all that. So I'm doing this, and it's all well and good. Got kids, got grandkids now, but back then I didn't. And so anyway, about halfway through it, like the hoe from the trailer court, okay, like some 15-year-old, like
Trailer
straight
parks
up
don't have
hoe, okay, wearing like a mini skirt, comes and like sits on my lap and is like grinding on me.
Like, oh shit, dude.
And
I
I'm
need to
like,
tip you?
okay, I'm getting the fuck out of here because that's all I fucking need is that,
Yeah, right.
So I just left and I was like, I'm done with this.
No more Santa for me.
Yeah, I'm hanging up the Santa.
I'd have been like,
no more.
I don't have any singles. Do I need to tip you? What the fuck?
Yeah, it was just like, this girl's like 15 and she's nasty. And, no, don't need it. All right, but you know what we do need is some killer cage match.
Fuck yeah, we do.
That's where we get a list of 75, and I'm going to add to it. We've got a few new ones. I'm thinking Rod Ferrell would be great on killer cage match.
That'd be good.
Graham Young.
Oh,
So we've done some good ones lately.
Yeah, we do need to add a new roster.
Yeah, so we're going to get some new names in there. But our listeners pick numbers on our Facebook group, and that's how we know who's fighting and what they're fighting with. And Chris, who we want to say thank you to.
Tonight, the listeners we have tonight are Sam Riley, Trina Murphy, and Joseph Fellini. So thank you once again. We appreciate you guys for listening, putting in your participation, because
That's
we love
right.
it. We love it.
Yeah, and we got a good matchup tonight in the cage, Joey. Who's fighting?
Well, first off, I just want to say it's cool to see some different names pop
It
up.
is so
Yeah.
good to see some fucking different names, homie. Fuck yes.
Nothing
hoping-
against
Thank
our
you.
listeners, but it's
No,
good
no,
to
no.
see new names. Yeah, for sure.
No, I love our regulars.
And I
but
went to
I'm also
school with
hoping that
Joe
means that
Finelli. I
our-
don't know if it's him. So if it's
Yeah.
you, Joe, fuck yeah, man.
But I think it's cool that fucking maybe, our group's bringing a few more people in too. So
Right,
that's cool.
right.
The
Right.
Facebook group.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can zuck us and fucking ban us all you want, but we're still there. Fuck you.
That's
Fuck
right.
you.
All right. Tonight we have Kansas City Butcher Robert Berdella going up against Lawrence Pliers Bittaker.
Oh, brutal matchup for sure. And Chris, they got a couple of interesting objects to fight with. Our listeners
Oh,
picked
they're-
some dandies here.
Yeah, the weapons they have right now is they have an anal fleshlight.
Yep. The anal version of the fleshlight.
Which has been it's been in the roster.
It has. It's
Like-
made an appearance more than once.
But they also have a 5-gallon bucket of glass shards, which is very, very fucking brutal, man.
Yeah, for
God
sure.
damn.
And the variable, Joey, is a very interesting one.
Kerry King circa 1985
Yes,
with his
sir.
fucking huge spiked armbands.
Which is funny
Yes,
because I
sir.
just did Hello Waits as my Lost Classic. so-
Fucking A.
Yeah, fuck yeah, Kerry King. And then the music,
Michael.
inspired, of course, by Michael, Chris, is what?
The cover of Sound of Silence by Disturbed.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So that's the music playing while this fight is going on. So we got Robert Berdella going up against Lawrence Bittaker with an anal fleshlight, a 5-gallon bucket of glass shards. Kerry King from Slayer's in there with this fucking nail fucking armband. And the music is The Sound of Silence by Disturbed. Chris, what do we do with this one?
Well, first thing that's going to happen, that music is going to be silent. Kerry King's just like, fuck you, Disturbed. He just fucking takes that fucking armband. He just fucking stabs Draymond right in his fucking throat. He's fucking like stuck. So now all he's got to do is like, how do I get this fucking dead body off of my fucking arm? So as he's over there hanging out, trying to figure out how to get fucking this body off his arm, fucking Berdella and Lawrence are over there. And they're like, now what do we do, motherfuckers? Well, Berdella, he was fucking goddamn. He like dudes anyway, so he's
Right.
eyeballing that anal light.
Yeah.
He's like looking at it, looking at it, and fucking Bittaker, he's a glutton for pain. So I feel like Berdella grabs that motherfucking goddamn fleshlight, grabs some of them fucking shards, sticks it in that fleshlight before Berdella even notices. So Berdella's fucking this anal hole light full of glass shards. His cock is gone.
Oh, wow.
Shredded to bits, dude.
Wow.
So Berdella's like, or Bittaker, I mean, is like, oh, now what do? I got to deal with fucking Kerry King. I got to deal with this guy. None of them are females and none of them are teenagers, but I got this pair of pliers.
Right.
Because
loved
he always carries pliers.
He always does.
He always carries pliers. So like, Kerry King, he's like trying to shake motherfucking Draymond off his arm. He sees in the bucket, there's a long shard, like fucking 12-inch long shard of glass. He just cuts motherfucking Draymond's head off. And then he proceeds to just go take a fucking mouthful of glass and just spit it at Bittaker in his face and be like, fuck you, and stab the shit out of him with his arm and just bleed all over him. And Kerry King's gonna be like, Slayer! And Kerry King
Kerry
wins.
King for the win. Okay.
Kerry King wins.
Wow, that was pretty intense. Joey, how about you for a follow-up to that, man?
Well, I think fucking Berdella and Bittaker, whenever that bell rings, the problem is they both want to fuck each other because they're fucking both demented, twisted fools.
Right.
True.
So they see the fleshlight. They see the fleshlight and they see the glass, and they're like, well, obviously, we need that fleshlight because we need to go get down over here. And they're fucking just railing each other in their butthole.
And they're going to DP the fleshlight.
And they're like, man, but hold on, because we're kind of fucking up right now because we're both kind of some sick fucks. And Berdella's like, yeah, we are some sick fucks. Let's do this. So he goes and gets some of that glass and he fucking puts it in his mouth. And then him and Lawrence Pliers Bittaker are making out like some sweet Nancy boys. And they're just making out with all this glass in their mouth and ripping their fucking tongues up. Kerry King is like, what the fuck is going on? I'm seeing the most stupid shit I've ever seen. And I live in California, and I'm seeing some fucking way out shit.
L.A.
And this music that's playing overhead, this music is fucking horrible, whatever this shit is.
Right?
Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, we live in a day and age when Slayer will open for Disturbed whenever they come back. You know, that's how
Right.
fucked up shit
I
is.
mean, yeah, I get it.
I don't even want to think.
But anyway, so fucking. Yeah, so fucking Kerry King, he's tired of this shit. He fucking goes over to them two fucking lame-ass dudes. He's like, you guys don't listen to Slayer. I'm going to show you what's up. And he fucking takes that fucking wristband full of spikes and fucking shoves it straight down Bittaker's fucking throat. Fucking pulls back up, rips his fucking larynx and insides out. Old fucking, Bordella, he's like, what the fuck? That was the most badass shit I ever seen. I'm not gonna fuck around with dudes no more.
I used to
I'm not
stick
gonna be a
fucking
weirdo
sparklers
no
in
more.
people's dicks.
Yeah. He's like, fuck that. Now I'm gonna be just a badass dude that likes Slayer, and Slayer saves Bordella from being a sick fuck.
wow.
Holy shit. All right, I'll go with it.
Hey, that's
Nice.
the beauty of Killer Cage match. Anything is possible. So,
Nice.
interesting. Very good. All right. Well, Chris,
Fuck, damn.
we've been talking a lot about this big fight coming up December 27th.
Oh, yeah, you know what just happened?
What's that?
We got a new announcement.
We do.
That's fucked. Like, motherfucking, we already have Creole. We have fucking Poutine. We got
Punky.
Punky.
Right. Well, Pierre Poutine last week said he was going to fight with Punky.
Yeah.
If Old Creole could have a fucking partner.
Well,
And
somebody
you-
rang in.
And you've got somebody you want to go get?
Yeah.
All right. So
I'm
we've
gonna
got.
I'm gonna go grab my homie over here real
All right.
quick, and we'll be right back after we fucking do the. I'm gonna go grab him. All right.
All right. Yeah.
All right, go.
Yeah. We'll wait. Go ahead.
Hey, Joe Bar here. I don't want to wait on this bullshit. This punk ass Pierre Poutine want to come in and defend fucking Punky Brook bitch ass against my homeboy, Old Creole. Fuck that. That's a 1-on-1 fight, bitch. You don't want us to come up there. I'll bring up our Gators. Y'all Yankees got nothing to do with us. Y'all motherfuckers will be up there. Don't fuck with us. We'll see you up in Toledo, bitches.
Well, shit. We got a response from Old Creole to that. Let's check this out.
Murder Metal Mayhem. This here is Old Creole here to say that I'm pleased as punch that Joe Ball and me is going to bring the down south funk to Toledo on December 27th. We're going to have an old Rochambeau and take out that trash, Punky and Pierre Poutine. We're going to lay down some moves. The old Gator Grab, the Cajun Hurricane Party, and the Crawdad Clutch. They ain't going to know what hit them. I.E.K. John.
Holy shit. What
God
the
damn,
fuck?
dude. This shit about to be real in a
I mean,
minute,
this
bro.
is like some WWF shit. First of all, we get Joe Ball coming in here talking some shit that he wants to fight with Old Creole, and then Old
Tag
Creole.
team match, baby.
So we got a tag team match for the
Tag
ages.
team
This is
match.
going to be wild. The Crawdad Clutch. I love
can
that.
smell that tag team.
Yeah. So this is going to be great. So we got Pierre Poutine and Punky apparently, and going up against Old Creole and Joe Ball with his fucking Gators. This is going to be
God
interesting.
damn.
So I'm going to try to organize a press conference next week.
see
So
what
we're going to
happens
have
to
all
that.
4 of these fools in the studio with us
Talking some shit.
and we're going to pump up this fight that's coming December 27th to the Henderson Center there in
2 days.
Toledo,
This is our Christmas present
Ohio.
to you.
Fuck yeah.
This press conference or this fight is our Christmas present to you.
That's right, because the final fight will be in that H.H. Holmes episode at the end of the year. So you're going to get your money's worth with that one. But Joey, you got a segment for us, some funny town names. You had a couple for us.
Oh, we're back to town names.
Yes, sir. I bet you got good ones too.
I got some classic ones. I have a feeling next week too that Punky's gonna be running his mouth about some shit after hearing all that.
Oh, I
shit
guarantee it.
Dude, you hang out with that cracker all the time, dude.
And Pierre Poutine, man.
I mean, obviously tonight's Finley Crip night, you know, so they're all over there doing that shit. Otherwise, he'd be here.
Stealing catalytic converters and shit.
Yeah, he hasn't heard it yet, though.
Okay.
All right, so here's my town names. I got 5 of them. I'm gonna spit out.
Word.
The first one is Satan's Kingdom.
Get the fuck out of here.
Satan's Kingdom is in Vermont, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. All 3 of them have a Satan's Kingdom in them.
Wow.
Satan's Kingdom, Connecticut. Satan's Kingdom, Connecticut is in a fucking environmentally protected area too. So that's
I mean,
the
that
second
makes
town.
sense.
The second town, and because we've been talking about this one on Murder Metal Mayhem not too long ago, Frankenstein, Missouri.
Nice.
There's a town in Missouri called Frankenstein.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Now, the third one I'm going to say is Three-Way, Arizona.
Okay.
Three-Way, Arizona.
Oh, that's where my mom grew up.
That's
Okay.
All right, here's one for you guys. Spunky Puddle, Ohio.
Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious? Is that real?
Wow.
Yeah, I had to look it up to see where it was, but it's down in Springfield, like way south of here.
Spunky
I was
Puddle,
like,
wow.
So it's like far,
Okay.
not by you. Oh my god.
No, otherwise it would be Punky Puddle.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
That sounds like my mom's mattress.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Right.
Sorry, Mom, I love you. This is jokes.
And then the last one I'm gonna say is Monkey's Eyebrow, Kentucky. And I wonder if that's where Ferrell hung out at.
Might be, man.
It could be.
Man, watch those girls
Jesus
from Monkey
Christ,
Eyebrow,
man.
man. They're
Monkey's
pretty
Eyebrow? What the fuck?
That's fucking great.
It's like the funniest fucking name
I
ever.
still love Cut and Shoot Texas, though. That's fucking good
I'm
stuff.
sorry, but Spunky Puddle.
Spunky Puddle.
That's like some
Spunky
brutal
Puddle,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, and I had that one I came
Trust
up
me, if
with.
that was closer, I'd go there.
Oh,
I
without
bet you
a
would.
doubt.
I bet you'd come there. Ha ha ha.
All right. Well, that was really good. I think it's my turn next, or yeah, because Chris, you went last
I
week.
went last week. Yeah.
So all right. So I got it next week. All right. Check out my website for my writing stuff, PeteAltieri.com. I'll link to it in the episode description. Got books, novels, short stories, whatever you dig. Got a web store that's kicking ass. So you can go there and buy some shit. And also our Murder Metal Mayhem page.
Go check it out. The website. Go check out our website.
MurderMetalMayhem.com. Put a little work into it. It looks pretty good. It's going to get better.
It's fuck Facebook.
I got a blog on there. You could sign up for the email list so we don't have to deal with Facebook and their bullshit and kicking us off and all this other nonsense. So we're just doing it ourselves. And you could listen to the podcast through there. You can buy some stuff. We get 25% off on the 666 Club if you go through there. So murdermetalmayhem.com. All right. Well, I think we have done plenty of mayhem tonight. So I think it's time to hit the outro. Those guys are fucking wicked, man. Battlegrave from Australia.
It's pretty
definitely dig
fucking
that.
nasty, dude.
Very much so. The song's called "We Die Here." They are definitely hovering in my top 5 album releases. I went with all indie bands on my list too. I'm going to move some honorable mentions of a couple of the.
They're from Australia,
bigger
not
bands.
Indonesia.
Yeah.
No, I'm just fucking.
Big thanks though to Steph for coming on with us and putting up with our fucking
Thank you, Steph.
stupidity
Yeah,
all
dude.
night.
Hell yeah.
And Chris and Michael drinking, whiskey over here and dealing with all of us,
Fucking A, man. You gotta love having good friends around.
That's right. And bumper music tonight, Joey. Who do we spin tonight?
The Locust, Onslaught, and Battlegrave.
Fuck
Fucking
yeah.
right.
And Chris, what about that metal intro?
Motherfucking always Chrysix, the great
Hell
metal motherfucker.
That's right. And the Murder Metal Mayhem intro music by Low fucking 12. And just Monday was Low 12 Day, 12/12. So
Was it 12/12?
it was 12/12.
I-
Yeah,
I
that's
don't-
the day Flesh of the Week
So
came
yesterday.
out.
Yesterday
That's-
from the time we're
That's
recording
the
this.
date our Low 12's first album, Flesh of the Week, came out on December 12th. So,
Fuck
and
yeah.
that was on 2000. So that was, Jesus, 23 years ago or 22
God
years
damn,
ago.
we're fucking old, dude.
We are, man. We are. So
Holy shit.
still get the Low 12 fans contacting me and stuff on Facebook. It's cool. I appreciate that people still think about it.
Holy shit.
All right. Well, we want to say thanks to everybody out there listening.
Yes, we
and
do.
we keep
You're all
seeing
the
the
best.
numbers coming in, and we got some comments we want to read. Chris, what about that first one?
Right here, we got motherfucking Joel Rollins, 64, says, I did the hell out of your podcast. I'm a new listener in Fresno.
Cool.
And a couple guys I work with listen to you, and I'm hooked. I loved your episode on Philip Jablonski. Yeah, fuck that dude. Never heard of him, but I learned a lot listening to you.
Hell yeah.
So hell yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks,
Fucking,
Joe.
Like for real.
Hell
Love
yeah.
it.
Joey, what about the next one?
Argus the Killer said, all hail Murder Metal Mayhem. I'm in BC in Canada. Love listening to you crazy Americans. Poutine for life.
Fuck
Poutine
yeah.
for life.
Poutine. And then Emil Collinsworth 9 commented, I just heard about you at the Merciful Fate show. I love this one. In Atlanta, and I've been jamming you guys ever since. The guy next to me had one of your shirts on and was telling me about how funny you all were. He wasn't shitting. I love everything I've heard so far. So, hell
Fucking
yeah,
A,
Emil,
man.
thanks,
Hell
dude. And Chris, what about that last one?
This last one we got. You want to read this one, Steph?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, get her done.
All right, Rory McGorry 666 commented, "My wife hates it when I listen to you guys because she doesn't like metal, but that just makes me crank it up louder. You guys rule."
Fuck yeah, Rory McGorry. I like that name.
I love
All
it.
right. Pick up my latest book, Slab of Sickness, Terror on the Tracks. Check it out in the episode description, PeteAltieri.com. Also, MurderMetalMayhem.com. Mention that. Joey, Distro, anything new? I know you get the Goremonger stuff coming.
Yeah, fucking new Goremonger album. Waiting on my last couple guest vocalists to get back. I got t-shirts and stickers.
Cool.
Flicks 3 already got them.
Awesome.
Fucking Machete Dildo albums out, and I've got another split coming out with the Canada Boys Holy Cost and Blondie Fesser, which is Butt Chug and Jesse's band.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
And then the last thing I was going to say is coming up on New Year's Eve, December 31st, I am playing a show up in Yale, Michigan, north of Detroit. If
I wish I could
anyone's
go
around
so
that area.
bad.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's going to be fun. Hell yeah.
Awesome. Very, very cool. All right. Well, you can like us on Facebook, at least the group. We don't have a Facebook page anymore. Follow us on Twitter. You can go to patreon.com/murdermetalmayhem to support, join the 666 Club. And we can't let them go without hearing a karaoke song. It's a little blast from the past, so crank this up. And until next time, keep one foot in the gutter.
And you're not really a vampire.
Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. Been around for a long, long year. So many a man's soul and faith. And I was around when Jesus Christ had his moment down in pain. Made damn sure that Pilate washed his hands, sealed his fate. Pleased to meet you, hope you guess my name. But what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. Stuck around St. Petersburg, but I saw it was a time for a change. Killed the Tsar and his ministers. Anastasia screamed in vain. Wrote a tank, held a general's rank when the blitzkrieg raced and the bodies stank. Pleased to meet you, hope you guess my name. Oh yeah, but what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. Oh yeah, I watch with glee while your kings and queens fought for 10 decades for the gods they made. I shouted out, who killed the Kennedys? When after all, it was you and me. Let me please introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste, and lay traps for troubadours who can kill me before they reach Bombay. Pleased to meet you, hope you guess my name. Oh yeah, but what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. Oh yeah. Pleased to meet you, hope you guess my name. Oh yeah, but what's confusing you is just the nature of my game. As every cop is a criminal, and all the sinners saints. As heads is tails, just call me Lucifer, cause I'm in need of some restraint. So if you meet me, have some courtesy, have some sympathy, and some taste. Use all your well-learned politics, or I'll lay your soul to waste. Pleased to meet you, hope you guess my name. But what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. Yeah. Ornamental mayhem. Get on down. Yeah. Chris Shaw back. Get the fuck down. Beat out Terry. You two motherfucker. Get the fuck down.
Mother. Man.